hello. Welcome to Under the Tea, episode 12.
Hello everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Hello.
Look at us, we've done a full anime season's worth of this.
12 episodes, hell yeah. We can retire now. Oh goodness, how are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Good?
I'm tired.
Tired? Why are you tired?
When am I not tired?
Fair enough. Chat, please tell me if everybody can be heard. Okay. I can turn people up if they need to be. Hello? Okay.
Hello.
Let's see. Sorry, we're obviously the Game Awards is done now. So
Yes, some of you guys should be coming in from there.
thank God it's done now. Because like I didn't really want to do it until it ended, but now it's done.
Mizu's a touch quiet. Is Mizu better now?
Is Mizu better now? Yeah, I can turn you up on Discord.
There we go.
There, you're much louder now.
Am I what?
But it's perfectly fine though.
Okay, yeah, sure. Alright, there we go. All better then.
Yep, exactly. Chat. How's everyone doing? What did you two do today? I know Lumi was
I worked.
forklifting. Michael
Like a
scotting it
boss.
up. Actually, Sean, I'm gonna show you what Lumi was doing all day.
You're about to get exposed, Lumi.
No, don't expose me.
Here, I'm gonna
We're gonna dox your forklift.
Oh, why does it show that GIF so bad? Okay, can I just tear that over here and then zoom in? I can. Alright. Chat. Wait, why is it not working? Hold on. Oh my gosh, why isn't it working?
Already broken it. See how we do, chat?
There we
How
go.
Oka does this.
It's not working because of late stage communism.
No, it's not working because I forgot the last time when I did the outro song, I turned off our assets. That's why. But this is what Lumi was
Oh,
doing
I
all
see.
day.
My assets are too strong. You can never turn them off.
This is what Lumi was doing all day. Driving the forklifts.
The last 30 minutes of the Game Awards on Kirsch's channel, Baldur's Gate 3 is overrated in my opinion.
I mean, that's fair. Here's the thing. Every game journalist I've ever seen has rated it a 10 out of 10. It is a good game. However, I hate RPG. I hate those kinds of slow RPGs, so I wouldn't personally rate it a 10 out of 10.
That's fair.
Just because it's my game style. You know what I mean?
Same. I already told Oka my thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you want to tell the rest of the world your thoughts on it?
I just don't find that kind of game that interesting. And from everything I've seen, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's as diverse as people like to make it out to be.
I mean, it's diverse in the fact that there's a bunch of different races, but
I mean, like,
kind of.
because the big thing people go with is like the story,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, oh, the story is like so in-depth and it's got so many options, and from everything I've seen, it all kind of goes to the same place. I don't really think it's as in-depth as people make it.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Well, yeah, it goes to the same place, but it's different ways to get there. Like you can slaughter an entire grove of the tieflings in there and the druids.
Yeah, but I can do that in Skyrim too.
See, I never slew those people because I was like, what if I need to come back here and buy things?
Well, that's the fun part. Once you get past Act 1 areas, you can't go back.
Yeah.
I guess that's my thing though, just like, I feel like you have that same option in a lot of games, people just ignore it.
I mean,
Yeah.
the voice acting carried the majority of the game.
Oh yeah, the voice acting is phenomenal.
I feel really sad when the check fails.
Mm-hmm.
I will be honest, I feel like games like Baldur's Gate, and this isn't necessarily like their fault, it's just like an inescapable fact of the genre, gets to a point where you're kind of save scumming because it feels really shitty when you have really good stats and you fail regardless just because of a bad roll.
I mean, people can choose to save scum, but like the playthrough that me and the Mans is doing, we are doing a whole, no, it is what it is. We don't save before rolls. Whatever happens, it's the will of the dice.
Oof. Very dangerous of you.
Yeah, no, like I get it because that's kind of how it's meant to be played, but I also understand how eventually those kinds of, like that kind of mechanic can get really frustrating when it's like, yeah, I've got like max stat in this one stat, but every single time I've rolled, I've still failed. Just because it's completely luck.
That's just Dungeons and Dragons for you.
Pretty much, yeah.
It is, but I feel like maybe in Dungeons and Dragons it feels a little bit better because you're directly role-playing it. Whereas in something like Baldur's Gate, because it is a video game with specific parameters, it gets a little irritating because it's like, I don't know why my character failed this. The door is right in front of them. How could they not see it?
Okay, you're talking about a game where I think this was a Critical Role thing, where they spent, I think it was 2 hours trying to figure out how to open a door because they weren't sure if it was trapped or enchanted or any.
You get that paranoid as a playing person. You don't know what to expect.
I mean, if you know that your DM is like evil, like my boyfriend, for example, really likes cursed items.
Right.
And what was the one that he had? It was my secrets. Don't share your secrets? Fine, I won't share your secrets. He's an evil DM. That's all I'll say.
You never reveal the prestige, ma'am. That's not very nice.
Yes, you give hints to why they're bad, but you know people won't pick up on them until they're like, ah, fuck.
Greed hurts.
Yes, greed hurts. Yes.
I feel like that's a hint. Don't be greedy. Don't be the loot goblin. Oh gosh. Anyway, but yeah, the Game Awards happened. Baldur's Gate won. I'll be honest with you. Congrats to them. I said this earlier. I'll say it again on stream. I am just glad Spider-Man didn't win because it did not deserve to win. And if you disagree with me, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Spider-Man did not deserve to win.
It's like I'm happy Baldur's Gate 3 won because that was a passion project from Larian Studios. They didn't get any money or help from WotC.
No.
So they purchased the license with their own money with the early access that people bought. And I believe it was an early access for 3 years.
Long time.
And I did what I think 6 months of the early access. It was so much fun and so much changed from the early access. I'm happy I was able to play it before full launch. So they deserve it, honestly.
Yeah, pretty much. I was kind of thinking that maybe Zelda or Mario could have taken it, but by the same token, nah, I don't. I think those games are fun, but those games aren't going to be as memorable, in my personal opinion. You know, Tears of the Kingdom was fun. Mario was fun, but Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be talked about and loved way longer, in my personal opinion. Way longer. It will far outlive those other titles.
Well, yeah, and also they have the fun of quote-unquote problematic Nexus mods. Did you see those posts?
I think you shared one of them with me.
The one where, what was it called? I think it's called, like, Get Rid of the Alphabet or something like that.
I don't know. I've heard that the mods are terrifying.
Get the Yankee faces.
Dude, the people who want to pretty up Lae'zel's face, they're just fucking cowards.
Nope, it needs to be prettied up.
Shut up.
I will do all the changes to it. And I'll dress her in bikini armor as God intended.
I mean, yeah, she deserves that, but like leave Lae'zel and Shard alone.
Ah, here we go. Okay. Perfect. So I've got a list up of the game of the year, all of the awards given out at the game of the year, and we can talk about a few of them if you like, and whether or not you agree or disagree with some of the options that were presented. Do you guys want to do that first?
Yeah, we could do that. Pull up your screen because I'm gonna leech off of you.
Totally fine. Don't worry. It is full screen. We're just going to start here at the top. We're going to be stealing from GameSpot because, you know, journalists update this in real time. And we thank whoever did this, Eddie Makuch. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but thank you for saying all of the Game Awards wins this year. That's absolutely amazing. Here, I'll switch this over for you, chat.
There we go.
All right.
Chat says amen. Bikini armor is based.
Bikini armor is based, and I'm glad that you can do that. I'm glad that you can do that in Baldur's Gate.
There we go.
I've seen some funny clothing combinations in Baldur's Gate. That is one thing I do really like. Not only can you have your bear sex, but you can also have vampire sex.
Bear sex.
The vampire sex is kind of terrifying though, because he does kind of want to suck your blood while he is enjoying you.
It's still hot.
It still is. Yeah, exactly. It's hot, but it's like. By the way, chat, this is a stream that's late, not just because all of us get off of work and are home at this time, but because this ain't for kids. Kids go to bed. Anyway.
This ain't your mama's podcast.
It ain't your mama's podcast.
Really? Adult Swim. That's perfect. All right, so we already talked about Game of the Year. Best game direction, Alan Wake. So I haven't played Alan Wake. Mizu, you and I briefly talked about Alan Wake, and you said you've heard mixed things from it.
Yes. I've heard mostly that the story is very much not liked by people who were fans of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the story is bad, but the story is bad given the context of other games.
Right.
I'm honestly surprised it beat out on Baldur's Gate and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, like when it comes to game direction, are they what does that what does that mean? Just like how it was done from start to finish? Like that some of these I'm going to ask people to clarify because I don't understand what that means.
What I have normally seen is it feels like they're kind of judging it by movie criteria.
Okay.
So like stuff that looks more well produced.
Basically who has the best cutscenes.
I see.
Something like that.
Spider-Man didn't win any awards and was nominated for... That's right, I don't think it did. We're gonna go through the list here, but I don't think it did.
Sounds like a skill issue.
It does. And, okay, and here's the problem. And it's a really sad problem. Final Fantasy 16, I don't think won very much of anything either. A lot of people...
journalists hate it.
Well, okay, so here's my problem with 16. 16 is going to be a good game when the majority of the player base that will play it can actually play it. Because right now, the majority of the people that would play it, which is Final Fantasy 14 enjoyers, can't even play it because nobody owns a PS5. And if you own a PS5, you're a minority. Okay? You are a minority.
I will take PS5 and leave.
Okay? So if you own a PS5, you are magical, you are special, you've got a rabbit's foot on you. And for the most part, nobody is going to touch 16 until it comes to computer, because nobody wants to buy a console for one game. That is why, in my opinion, that it has done so poorly. Like, I'm pretty sure that it is a fantastic game, but until you can play it on the computer, nobody knows it exists. So,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I mean, you can't just say that. Yeah, you won't. No one will buy a console for one game, but you're talking to the girl who only bought a PlayStation 4 to solely play Bloodborne for a year before I bought anything else.
Well, my only rebuttal to that is the PlayStation 4 had more going for it than the PS5. There's more reusability for the PS4 than there is for the PS5. For the PS5, besides Final Fantasy 16 and like a few other games like Spider-Man, what is the reason that I can that I should buy a PS5 over a computer? I feel like a computer is a better investment. That is the like in today's world, in today's economy, chat. Would you rather have a game system that has 1 or 2 exclusive games, or would you rather spend a little bit more money on a system that you can have for 10 to 20 years if you take care of it correctly? I'm going for the computer. And I'll know eventually that either I can get the game legally on Steam or Epic, or, and I don't condone this, if I absolutely don't want to wait, I'll just see if I can get Bloodborne on the computer other ways. Although I hear that doesn't work very well.
No, it depends.
We don't
on
condone
what you
any
use.
such things here, chat.
No, we don't, because it is illegal. Even though they make it very tasteful to do so, it's very illegal, and you shouldn't do it. Alright,
Exactly.
moving on.
However, I will support completely legal ways to get a game on the computer.
Yes,
Yeah.
pretty much. Best
Like, you know, as long as you rip the disc yourself, totally rip the disc yourself, you're good.
Pretty much. Nintendo has had exclusive title. Okay, so here's the problem. Nintendo is, in my opinion, I would take a Nintendo Switch over PS5 because Nintendo doesn't let anybody touch their shit. Nothing that you see, like all of their mainline titles will never end up anywhere else. You will never see Zelda or Mario anywhere else because Nintendo keeps that way harder under lock and key. It's almost respectful. It's weird, and I respect them for it. So I will buy a Switch over PS5 just because of that. It's all about the value.
Silvio says Devil's Advocate, decent PC is twice as much money and consoles can last a decade or more. Devil's Advocate, Silvio, consoles might last a decade or more, but you're not going to get new games for them after a couple years.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like,
once the PS5 comes out, you're lucky if they put something on the PS4, and if they do, it's typically like a watered down version that doesn't run very well of a game that was specifically made to be on the 5.
Meanwhile, with computer games, you just need to switch out a few computer parts every few years, and then just like after 10 to 20 years, just get a new computer altogether. It's like a car, kind of, but you know. But with a console, after 7 years, once they jump to something new, unless it's Nintendo, because Nintendo actually has done a decent job, like when they go from the DS to the newer DS, and then the newer DS, most of their games were backwards compatible for the most part. But like computers, for the most part, you can just keep upgrading it. But with the console, it's a piece of trash in 10 years. I don't know.
Yep.
Consoles play like trash? Most of them do, yes. That's one thing I hope that the Switch can continue to improve on, because I hate 30 FPS. It's like so noticeably bad. So noticeably
Yeah, Sylvia,
bad.
that's the thing. You might have 7 years on a gaming PC before it needs upgrades, but if you don't upgrade it, the worst that's going to happen is it's going to play just as bad, if not a little bit better than a console.
It's deleted all of the
Yeah, that's the
loadout.
sad thing. Or chat.
See, the thing is, do you want to improve the performance on some of your brand new PC games? Go into settings, change half the resolution and half the FPS on it. It'll run perfectly, 100% of the time.
I don't recommend that.
Or it's like at least cap your FPS, because
I always do
uncapped
that.
FPS is just a nightmare.
I will be honest, I've never run a game uncapped, because even though it sounds cool, I never notice. I have never, after 60 frames, it's just like, I don't notice it at all.
Yeah.
And maybe
I
I'm
know people
stupid.
swear by over 60. I genuinely don't think you can see very much over 60.
No, and maybe I'm actually. How much FPS is your actual eyes? What is your eye FPS?
your IFPS is, I believe, it's like a weird number. It's like 72 to 77 or something.
Really?
Let's see here.
Yeah, they've
I-
like done research into it, and I believe it's somewhere between like 70 and 77.
So this website says that it's between 30 and 60 frames per second.
Which I'm pretty sure is false. I think the more accurate number is like 70s.
Let's see. But yeah, so for the most part, after 60 frames, I don't feel like you're going to notice. I don't think it gets that much. It's just my personal opinion. And that's another thing, which, like, when it comes to the 4K monitors and all that kind of stuff, it's just like, bro, who cares? Like, your eyes aren't going to care that much anyway. It'll look pretty. It'll look fine. Anyway, a little bit of a tangent.
Well, also, I don't think a lot of people realize this, but if you don't have like an actual 4K sized monitor, then 4K looks really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
It makes it look so unnatural, which it's weird that you can make a game look more unnatural.
Very, very true. Very true. But yeah, it's just my personal opinion that computer is way more tasteful. Like, listen, if you're people like Lumi that wanted to buy it for just 1 or 2 games, hey, more power to you. My whole thing is, I can't afford it. I can't afford it for just 1 or 2 like $700 or $800 for 2 games that I'm gonna play for a couple months and then not touch again. Man, there's a lot of things I could waste for that much money, and it'll last me way longer. I'm telling you, that's my whole thing. But people are welcome to see it differently.
Yeah, it's like with my PlayStation 4, it was a tax return gift to myself. Then the PS5 was solely funded by my friend Tyler.
See, if somebody else buys it for you, I'm okay with that too. Somebody else gets it, that's fine. They sucked off, but listen, Baldur's Gate is okay. Besides the fact that journalists liked it, I think a majority of the world likes it, and so it's fine with me. As long as Spider-Man didn't win, I was okay with that. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Best adaptation, The Last of Us. So I actually heard that The Last of Us adaptation was pretty okay. Like, there was a few points that were bad.
A lot.
I heard that too. I heard that like a few things were changed, but for the most part, pretty okay. Pretty okay. You know?
They're sucking off The Last of Us so fucking hard.
It worries me that they're doing that because, like, you would think that when a game studio is very chugging along, they'll just keep making new things. But, and I know I've seen this, you see this with Disney as well. When they just start to remake or re-release old things, that means that they've got nothing. And that they're just trying to remake the nostalgia to hope that they can get you going on that for a while.
So this is gonna sound like weird, but I think this is less of a fight of what is good and more what's not the worst. So the Super Mario Bros. Movie was good, however, it just completely changes like how the games work.
Yeah.
Like none of it is consistent with like the games.
Oh no, Mario Brothers was not consistent.
Castlevania, about halfway through the series, just goes off the fucking rails and becomes a shit show. I've never seen Gran Turismo. I can't comment on it. Twisted Metal is kind of the same vein of Mario Brothers in that it's actually not bad. The problem is it just fucks with everything in the games because they don't care.
Well, I mean, the thing is with some game adaptations, the problem is, like, if you want to do a faithful Mario adaptation, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck so bad because it's not gonna have a whole lot of substance to it. You're just gonna go from 1 to 8, Mario saving the princess. That sucks. I'm gonna be honest, nobody's gonna sit in a theater. Like, the kids are gonna think that's fine, not me. And they gotta entertain the parents too, because the parents are writing the reviews to get the next movie to come out. And if you want to make something good, Mario needs to change it up a little bit. And I think that what they did actually did good. It did good.
What do you mean, chat, about the same movie as you? Because if we're talking about Gran Turismo, I said I did not see it. at all. I just
No.
didn't watch it.
I
could care less about racing, much less a movie about racing.
I've only seen the Mario Brothers movie, and I thought it was pretty decent, but it's just, if you want to be 100% vanilla to Mario, it's not going to be the same, in my opinion. They have to inject things that are a little. It's like the Sonic movie. Like, the Sonic movie did not follow the formula at all. Every Sonic game is vastly different. But that's okay, because the Sonic movie, one of the best things I've ever seen. Which is sad, because there should have been things that made a buddy cop movie, and then a buddy cop 2 not be as in the limelight. But because of how shit everything else was, Sonic was one of the best things I've ever seen when it came out. So
well, it's like, I don't think they're trying to go for like being super faithful to the games. They just want to make it a fun movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look, if you're talking about the Twisted Metal movie, because you still haven't actually told me what movie you're talking about.
I think they're talking about
you mean
Mario.
The Twisted Metal one?
I think they're talking about Mario because
the creator
Nintendo was directly involved with the production of the Mario movie. Like, legit, the creator was like, yeah, I'm in charge of this, and they're gonna follow it to a T. I hate Sonic 2. Sonic 2 was amazing. I loved that one. I just didn't like some of the buddy cop. Like, the buddy cop aspect is the worst part about the Sonic movies, but you get past it because all of the Sonic bits are just good.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I think with the Mario movie, like I said, it's not a bad movie. I think it's a good movie, but no, it takes a lot of liberties with literally everything, which is what makes it a good movie. However, we're talking about a good adaptation.
Yeah.
As an adaptation, I think it's awful.
Oh yeah,
and I'll like put my feet in the ground in this. The old Mario movie that everyone hates and always jokes about is just as bad of an adaptation, but I unironically think it's a more fun movie to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's super campy, that's for sure.
The live action one?
Yes,
Yeah.
I will
Oh,
dig my
gosh.
heels in on this.
I
think
saw
it is
that
legitimately
once.
a more fun movie to watch.
I think that movie was, there's movies that are bad, but they're also good because they're bad. I think that movie is that. It's bad, but it's good because it's bad.
Surprisingly, Glubby, there have been semi-new Twisted Metal things. They've not been good, but there's been semi-new Twisted Metal things.
No, yeah, but I don't know. It was, listen, if we're talking about...
Yeah, that's my hill. I will die on that hill. The original Super Mario Brothers movie is one of the best Nintendo movies ever produced, and I will dig my heels in on that.
And make a Twitter post about it and let people debate you.
Chat, we'll just say this. If you want to go off of 100%, Princess Peach is not supposed to be the one in charge. They made her one of the most important characters of the movie. If you wanted it to be 100% faithful, Princess Peach is at the very end, period.
She's very dainty. She's very floaty.
She doesn't do anything.
People always talk about, well, there was a Peach game where she was like the main character. Yeah, and she literally cried her enemies to death. Shut up. You're not a real fan if you were citing the Peach game.
I mean, it was a good game. I didn't play it, but I really wanted to.
It was a good game, but
the
don't
new one
sit
looks
here
good
and tell
too.
me that you know Peach because of that game and then say a billion things that are wrong about that game.
Like, I don't know. I don't want to like stay stuck on that, but I do think that the Mario movie is great for what it is. I just think that like 100% adaptation would not have been like fun. It would not have made the money it made.
I'm dying on that hill.
Akko, an anti-monarchy rant. Yes, destabilize the monarchy. Get rid of. Well, the queen's already gone. Never mind. Sorry. Excuse me.
Get rid of her replacement.
I don't think anybody likes him anyway, so
No one likes the king.
I mean, he's a dude, and people hate dudes, so that's fine. Everybody will be okay with that. Anyway, let's move on. Best narrative, Alan Wake 2. I have not. Again, I can't say anything because I haven't seen the game.
Man. I can already hear the angry cries of Cyberpunk fans.
Cyberpunk was a great game. I loved that game to death. The narrative was pretty decent. I have heard some people tell me that they have some issues with the beginning of the game's narrative. Like,
I will
let me-
actually, as somebody that is a known cyberpunk hater, I
Mhm.
think this award probably should have gone to Cyberpunk.
you think so?
Yeah, see the problem with Alan Wake is they're considering it like in the context of just Alan Wake 2, but I think the 2 is kind of important on that. There have been other Alan Wake games. You need the other games to understand this one, and this one kind of fucks with the continuity of those ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a continuous narrative, it just kind of screws it all up. And I think it's fair to say that because it specifically is Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, which is the DLC. So they actually do continue fairly well the narrative from Cyberpunk into Phantom Liberty, and they tie them in pretty good together.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've heard it's fan-frickin-tastic.
I will say, likely the only reason it didn't win is because, as everyone knows, there really isn't any good endings in Cyberpunk.
That is, yeah, that is a
Honestly,
problem.
yeah.
But here's the thing: there's no good
It
endings.
probably lost solely because the endings make people feel sad.
There's no good
Oh
endings.
well, let people feel sad.
But the reason why there's no good endings is because when you go to Night City, nobody has a happy ending. Absolutely nobody gets a happy ending. If you're not dead in a ditch, you must be Jesus in that city. I'm just saying, nobody lives there.
Yeah.
So,
So, what is
I don't know.
Pathfinder?
I don't know. I think Baldur's Gate, I haven't finished Baldur's Gate. Story's pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know Alan Wake, so I can't really speak to it. And when it comes to Final Fantasy 16, again, nobody's played it. Nobody's played it. And that's what's really sad, is because I'm sure that Yoshi P is so sad that his game is not being enjoyed to the way that he thinks it should be. But nobody's playing it because it's stuck on a console that nobody owns. Again,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
I heard
from
the
there.
other problem is it's a very easy game.
Is it really?
It's not as easy as people made it out to be when it first came out because they were lying about it,
Uh-huh.
but it is substantially easier than other Final Fantasy games. And this is something I think is a huge mistake that certain genres are making. Like Fire Emblem is also currently making this mistake, where they're making the games very easy, but they're a game that we're sold on their difficulty.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if Dark Souls tomorrow became the easiest game in the world, I genuinely think it would kill its player base.
I mean, they
Because
did.
one of the main draws is that difficulty.
They did make, but I compared to all of the other games, Elden Ring is the easiest of them all.
Yes.
But that's probably because you can jump.
A big part of Elden Ring, I think, that makes it easy is actually the summons. If you don't use
Yes,
summons,
very
I
true.
actually think it's about on par, if not harder, than older games in certain areas.
Chat, I will be honest, I used my my mimic to beat pretty much every final boss. I'm
Wow.
not even unironically
you
sensing
used
that.
your little copy.
I did. Melania stood no chance because we both had a stagger that was so high she was staggering at every hit.
See, though, I think that's what really lets Elden Ring kind of bridge the gap between both the hardcore and the softcore crowds, is the summons.
Uh-huh.
Because if you don't use summons, you still have the same level of difficulty. So all the people that play Dark Souls because they like to see you died on the screen, they still got their game.
Yes, this is very true.
But with RPGs, if you just make the game itself easier across the board, all you're doing is alienating the people that want like an actual challenge and not just to spam attack every turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough.
And I don't think they're getting that challenge.
No. No.
I mean,
I-
there's also the summon shaming. That's also fun.
You can summon
You should
shame
be
me all you
summon
want.
shamed.
I will eventually replay the game without one. I just don't care to, right? I'll replay it when the DLC comes out. Anyway. Best art direction. Hi-Fi. So here's the thing. Have either of you played Hi-Fi Rush?
No, but
No,
I better
dang
about
it.
Lies of P.
So Hi-Fi Rush is like a rhythm-based game where you have to fight to the beat of the rhythm. It was a very pretty style. Again, I haven't seen anything of Alan Wake, but I guess
Say
Alan Wake had the
didn't
best.
deserve this.
Who do you
Alan
think's-
Wake is super generic realism. It
The Lies of P
1000% didn't belong on here.
See, that's why I think that's why it won, because people don't want something that's super artsy. People want something that's super realistic because they want
like
games
that.
to be realistic.
Yeah, I think that's the big I actually think I said this exact same complaint with it last year,
Mhm.
because I think last year another hyper-realistic game won. I'd have to double check. But I really feel like art direction needs to be unique art direction
Mhm.
and not just these generic realism looking games. It needs to be a game that has an actual style to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
every year they just throw in the generic realism games, and it's like, I don't really consider that art direction. I mean, I know it is. Internally, I know it is. But it's not unique. Like,
It's only
every other
direct.
AAA game is doing that.
Yeah. Hi-Fi Rush was so good, but I was so bad. See, Temp, you just suck at rhythm games, but that's okay, because I suck at other things and you suck at rhythm games. So you're allowed to have one thing you're not good at. I don't know.
Slander.
I think when it comes to art direction, Liza P was very rustic looking. Like very rustic look. I haven't played it yet, I would like to. It's very rustic
okay.
looking, and I absolutely love how rustic it was. Like if I were to go just off of art direct, like how of my own personal taste, I'd probably choose Liza P.
I do like that Liza P kind of had the mix of, like, it was like a semi-realistic world, but it felt very stylized Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is what the industry was heading in, and this is what the customers want. I don't know if this is what the customers want.
This is
I
what the
don't know.
basic bitch ass customers
This
want.
is true. This is what the West wants. The West wants everything to be the same.
I don't even think that's necessarily true. I think it's just this is what's easy for companies to do, and
I
most
believe that.
customers don't care.
I would believe that. I would believe that. We're just impossible to please, so that's why we're left
Like,
by the
I
wayside.
genuinely feel like if Hi-Fi Rush came out, but it was completely hyper-realistic looking, the same people would probably play it, and the same people probably wouldn't play it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think the art style necessarily was the end all be all for most people.
Mm.
I think it really helped people enjoy it more, but I don't think people were gonna like cut it off because of that.
Yes. And yes, we will discuss the Bomberguy video. That is something that I watched. I will be taking point on that when it comes,
Lucas
because
sacrificed your sanity
I
for
did.
it.
I did. I didn't finish. I will say, chat, right now, I did not finish it. I got about 3/4 of the way through it. He got to one person that I just did not care about, and I was like, okay, I got the general gist of this. And I have an anecdote for why I don't like anything that he says, but I'll wait till we get to there. All right,
Oka got to learn why I refused to watch it to start with.
pretty much. All right, best score in music. Okay, so 16 did win
Good.
something.
Good.
16 won for
Soken
best score.
deserves it.
I've just not heard it, so I can't say whether or not I agree or not. I mean,
Soken, so
Final
he-
Fantasy. Listen, Final Fantasy 4. By the way, do you guys own any of the Final Fantasy soundtrack? Because I have all of 14's OST that I can give you. I can
So-
give you all of it.
I will say on this one specifically, Final Fantasy definitely deserved it over Hi-Fi Rush, because I still want them to have like, or to like omit best music from including any rhythm games,
Uh huh.
because I feel like rhythm games on their face should probably win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That might be like a personal opinion, but I'll understand if a rhythm game is like Guitar Hero and it's all like old songs, it's nothing new.
Yeah.
But if it's something like Hi-Fi Rush, where it's like a completely new score for the game, I feel like it probably should just win in that category, so
Yep.
it should be excluded entirely.
Oh yeah. I think if a rhythm game doesn't win, that's a sign that maybe the music something's lacking with the music. But the problem with Hi-Fi Rush is I don't feel like a lot of people enjoyed it. Like it was a good-looking game, but it was not really out there, which is sad because it was decent. But I think that's why it didn't win. Now, when it comes to because here's the funny thing: Tears of the Kingdom is best score. Where's the score? You never hear the Zelda music because it's not there. That's the problem. The Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild music, the major problem with their music, you never hear it. It's not memorable. And that's sad. I don't know. That's just me though.
Fair.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Best audio design, Hi-Fi Rush. And you know what? There we go. They did win something, thankfully. Hi-Fi was a shadow drop game.
I hope
It
they
was.
have good audio design for being a rhythm game.
I would say yes, it was pretty good. Pretty good at what it did. What do you mean to Tears of the Kingdom? Okay, so let me just say this. I love the music of every Zelda game, but I could not tell you a single song from Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom because I never hear it. It's in the game, but you never hear it because it's just too quiet. It's not... Because, like, here's the thing. Everybody has played a Zelda game. At least most people have played a Zelda game. You can recall in your favorite Zelda title what track that you really like. All right? Some of my favorite tracks from Wind Waker, like the Great Sea, the Great Expanse of Sea. Everybody can think of that soundtrack in your head right now. If I just say the Great Sea, you can think of that music track right now. But when I say Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, what soundtrack from that game comes into your head? I want you to tell me.
From what game?
From Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
Says you're just deaf.
Okay, I'm not saying that I can't hear it, okay? What I'm saying is it has no memorable music. You cannot recall a song from it.
I like the music from the Korok Village.
The Korok Village?
Yeah.
From Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
The little, yeah, their little forest home.
Okay, fair enough.
I can probably see where Oka is coming from. I think it's one of those games where it has a lot of good music, but it doesn't have anything that's super stand out.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, this is a bop. I'd listen to this every day.
Yes. That's the thing. It's just like, again, when you think of Wind Waker, there's a lot of music that you could just listen to and put on in the background. But when it comes to Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, I can't. I just can't. I don't know.
That's fair.
Maybe that's just me, but like most people, I would say that most people can't find it that memorable. That's the problem. Anyway, let's move on. Best performance, Neil Newborn did a great job. He definitely deserves it. I heard apparently that he was going to quit voice acting before he did Baldur's Gate 3, and this is like the push that he needed.
He did so fucking good in Baldur's Gate 3. Oh my fucking god.
And believe it or not, chat, if you like Neil Newborn in Baldur's Gate 3, he is going to voice a fish in Warframe on Wednesday. In the new Warframe update, chat, he is going to be one of the new syndicate leaders that you can talk to in Warframe. So if you want to talk to this guy, you want to talk to Astarion some more, you can do so in Warframe, although he'll be a fish.
Oko is ready to talk about Warframe.
I won't talk about it too much. It's just, I'm excited about that. It comes out on Wednesday.
He's just waiting for that one moment to just say Warframe.
That's it. I promise. That's it. That's it.
That's it for now.
Yep.
Innovation.
Innovation.
Like Forza Motorsport, when accessibility, its options literally let you not play the game.
Are you talking, Gwubby? Are you saying that like a certain scabby head person would probably be doing that?
I would have to know what innovation they're being credited for.
This is true because I don't know anything about innovation.
This sounds like something that we'd want to talk to Lennox about, since I know they are more into the accessibility side of various things.
They are, yes. They are, you know.
Well, I would say most game companies I don't think have ever really pushed forward accessibility.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if a what was it, a quadriplegic that managed to beat Elden Ring with just using like, I don't know, something to blow into. I've seen videos of that.
See, that's now I'll be honest, that I would rather reward people like that find new ways to play a game than just try and make it like, yeah, sure, make a game more accessible, but I would rather you reward and showcase the people that moved past their disabilities and still beat the game normally. Those people deserve the world. All right? I don't know. Yeah, I can't really talk about any of this because I don't know what they did at all. All
I
right.
highly doubt any of them did anything like super impressive
Mhm.
because I do somewhat keep track of that, and I feel like I would have already heard about it.
Very true. Very true. Games for impact. This feels a
I
little
don't know what
political.
this is.
I think it's a little political.
Do they have like a explanation of what they mean?
No.
Let's skip it. I don't care.
Okay. Best ongoing game. Now this one was a little. This one was
Slander.
Final Fantasy?
Fucking slander. Cyberpunk 2077. You mean their future updates? No, that's not an ongoing game. That's just waiting for DLC.
Yes, I was very surprised because I was like, Final Fantasy is.
What?
I mean, okay. Here's the thing. They didn't really say anything new this
consider
year.
ongoing updates as an ongoing game. I feel like it means a live service game.
That's what I thought too. I was like, obviously this is a live service game thing. Nope.
It should have been Final Fantasy fucking 14.
See, the only reason why I would not have put 14 in there is because there was no updates this year. There was just minor patches. There was no big thing to be
It's
crazed
still
over.
technically ongoing. It's not like they, stopped
I don't think-
the game.
Yeah,
I
I don't think
know.
the updates are what makes it ongoing.
Well,
Which
but
is why
that's
I
what
really don't think it Cyberpunk belongs in there at all. That was bought and paid
it was. It was. My only thing that my only devil's advocate is it has to do with what is big, flashy on the screen the year that the award ceremony is happening. Cyberpunk had a
I'm
big
just waiting
thing.
for Dawn Trail to dominate the Game Awards next year, though.
Me too. That would be amazing. But yeah, that was weird. Don't know why. Now this one, oh my gosh, this one made me laugh my ass off. Best community support.
Honestly, they did deserve it because Larian Studios has been listening to the community since early access.
Very
and
true.
even more so after the game initially released.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, for example, there was a specific cat in the game that was at Last Light In for Act 2.
Mhm.
And apparently it was a bug that the cat was a Sphinx cat. He was supposed to be all fluffy and look all regal.
Yeah.
In one of the patches, they were like, okay, this is a mistake. Here, put hair on the cat. Everyone was like, no, bald the cat again. And then the next patch, they took away his fur.
Damn.
And now he is a bald king.
See, when it comes to best community, I was actually gonna laugh my ass off if Destiny won. Because you know how much we've been bitching about Destiny 2 and Bungie. And the fact that Destiny, that Bungie made it onto this list, I'm gonna be honest here, I about spit my drink out because there is no way anybody thinks Bungie is, there's no way Bungie has done any good. And
Here's the Latinx thing.
that is part of it. Like yesterday when I was on Rosa's podcast, we were talking about how apparently the layoffs happened. Now this is gonna really hurt your head. The layoffs happened because if they didn't lay people off and they didn't get their budget under control, Sony was going to participate in a hostile takeover and dissolve the board of Bungie and just take over the game entirely.
Oh yeah, I heard about that from Neon.
So if they didn't lay people off, Bungie would have been dissolved and Sony would have taken over entirely. So, guys, I
That's
hope
wild.
it's honestly, it's very depressing. It's very depressing. I've only played the game for a few years, but like Rose says, like was really excuse me. She's been playing the game ever since it came out in beta, and she gave me her whole story about how her expectations of the game just went down and down and down, and it's just like really depressing because like the game is amazing. It has great gunplay. It has a lot of great stuff in it, but there's the few things that they shit on, and it ruins everything. And my number one worry is just that it is gonna get, because like if it doesn't do well this time, more layoffs are coming, and they are probably gonna be dissolved, and it is gonna get absorbed by Sony. It's really sad. Really,
Yeah,
really
Jenny
sad.
did sound genuinely heartbroken.
She did. I was almost crying for her, but like it's just like how can you fuck up that badly? Like who needs to get like dragged down the street so that they understand how not to run a company. I don't know, man. I could go on it for a while, and I don't even love it that much. But like, it's just, I don't
Well,
know.
I wish people would stop simping for both Sony and Microsoft because they're both probably pushing gaming in the worst directions possible.
They are.
I don't like people always give Nintendo crap, and this like gets on my nerves, right?
Mine
Is
too.
that as annoyed as I can be with Nintendo, at the same time I can acknowledge that like when they shoot down ROM sites, they're completely within their right to do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
But
And
then
I would do the
people
same
be
too.
like, but then Xbox will like make an announcement that they're gonna force the Xbox camera to be always on so they can watch you at all times and make sure you don't have more than a certain number of people playing at once. People get mad at them for a day and then let it go.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
still like whine about stuff Nintendo did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all just like memory hole Xbox and Sony pushing the industry in the worst possible directions ever.
Yeah. It's
Paying for
Like-
online, that was started by Xbox. Now
Like-
everyone does it.
Nintendo does a bunch of scummy stuff, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I would much rather have a Japanese game company because I don't consider Sony Japanese anymore. It's just not. It's a Western company that pretends that it
They
still
moved
lives
to
in Japan.
California.
Yeah, they pretend that they're still Japan, but no, they are a Western company now. I would much rather have Nintendo, than I would both of those other ones. Like if I had to choose between the three, Nintendo,
Yeah.
right? All right, let's move on. Best independent game.
I don't know any of these games,
Me
but
neither.
want to hear something funny?
Sea of Stars probably deserved it. It's really good.
Really?
Sea of Stars is somebody. So this is something I've wanted for a while. And I've said it before, is that Undertale actually really innovated RPGs in a way that I thought was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like regardless of what you think about Undertale, it's just the like little mechanic of having you actually act out against the enemy's attack
Yeah.
really makes RPGs a lot less boring. It's a lot less point and clicky. You're actually doing stuff. You actually feel like you have some agency in fights.
It doesn't feel
But
like a
nobody
traditional
else
RPG.
has really like taken that mechanic and been like, yeah, we should incorporate this into our RPG too.
Yeah.
Sea of Stars did, and it made it really fun.
Really?
They also kind of brought back what was it? I think it's Super Mario RPG where you actually had to do certain things for your moves to make them a bit better.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go.
What was I
There
gonna
you
say
go.
before? Oh yeah. Technically, Larian Studios is still considered an independent game studio
They are, yes.
because and Baldur's Gate would have blown all of these in the out of the water if they were able to stay in the independent studio and independent game categories.
Yeah, I think there's a reason
understand why they removed it though.
I understand why they removed it too. I totally like. Yeah, we probably should let some of the other guys play too.
Well, because a lot of the games on here are games that were made on literal shoestring budgets.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying Larian had it easy with their stuff, because from
No.
what I've heard, they didn't. But they were not working on, like, the same shoestring budget that everybody else was.
No, they did not. They did not. They had a lot of going behind them. Anyway,
I think they would be more considered AA.
Yeah,
you think so? Double A?
I'm just excited for the next Divinity game.
They would be AA or single A.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So this one, best debut indie game. I feel like Pizza Tower should have won. Pizza Tower's
I don't know what
fucking
any
amazing.
of these games are.
I would have probably given it to Dredge,
To
but I
Dredge?
also kind of like I like Dredge.
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
have no opinion. I don't know these.
So the reason why I like Pizza Tower is, I can't remember specifics, but I believe that one of the guys that made it, has either PTSD or they gave the guy in Pizza Tower PTSD, and like it like helps to spread a message, about this pizza guy that is like seeing pizza monsters trying to destroy his pizzeria. I don't know. I thought it was really good. I haven't played it.
On acid.
It's really good though. I really, really loved it, and I think that
Sounded
people
a
should
bit
play it.
schizophrenic.
Oh no,
Just a
he's
little
not
schizo.
schizophrenic. I believe that the pizza guy just got PTSD. I think that's what it is. People can correct me, but it's really good.
Also, chat, because you guys are still mentioning it. Yes, pick up Sea of Stars and play it. It's a really good game.
There you go. Pick up Sea of Stars, chat.
Pick up
Best-
Dredge 2 if you want to, but keep in mind it's a horror game, so I know not everybody's into those.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure should have won.
Really, you think so?
Yes.
The Final Fantasy one definitely should not have won. That I don't even know why they were pretending.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Monster Hunter now has a lot. I've played it. Has a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
now when it,
Don't know anything about Terranil.
what I will say is Honkai Star Rail is a pretty solid game. Like, I hate RPGs, and it's an RPG. It's pretty decent though. And
I don't like gambling.
well, see, here's the crazy thing. You can get by without gambling. They actually give you quite a few free tickets. Like, it's actually crazy how much you can get for free in that game. Obviously putting money in ups your chances of getting the good stuff, but they also, like, it's just a little bit harder to play for free, basically. But I think
Be
Star Rail
honest,
deserved it.
If it comes to mobile games, if they put anything by Hoyoverse up there, it's probably gonna win.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
Hoyoverse fans are just as rabid or even more rabid than Persona fans.
Very
So
true.
I'm gonna say this is somebody who like falls out of love with Hoyoverse stuff very quickly. Their games are extremely polished for mobile games,
Very true.
Mhm.
They're not
and they
okay.
can probably be credited with really pushing mobile games to be a lot more than just like a shitty phone app.
Well, okay, here's the thing. They are mobile games, just not for American phones. Because our phones are not designed the way that phones in other countries are. Like, people in China or Japan, their phones are not designed the way ours are. Theirs are designed for gaming specifically. Like, that's all they have to game on. So, you know...
Did my stream crash?
Oh, did your stream crash? Hold on.
I just got a message that said it went live again.
Oh, that's weird.
No.
Me last week.
But like, and this is something that, like, when the Steam Deck was coming out, I'm trying to explain the mobile thing. When the Steam Deck was coming out, that's when people in Japan really started to jump into the PC market, because the Steam Deck is mobile, but it's also a computer. It's a console and a computer at the exact same time, and it can play Switch games at 60 FPS. So, when they say it's a mobile game, it is, just not for your phone. It's for the phones of people that live in China and Japan. So, yeah. Best VR game. I don't own VR. Do either of you own VR?
Me neither.
I do. I haven't played any of these.
All right, we'll move
But
past
let's
that
go.
then.
So I actually talked about this. So since there's really no VR, I guess I can at least just mention this here since I never get to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I've said before that I think the biggest mistake VR is making is about the same mistake people made with the Wii U, where they really tried to like shoehorn games into using the pad in a unique way. They could have eased people into it and just done like little small things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's been VR's biggest hurdle, is they really, really want you to like have all these unique mechanics with interacting like with the VR space and moving your hands and all this stuff. If you turned a game into just using the VR headset as like a glorified screen to where you could look around and just play with a controller like normal, I honestly think people would enjoy VR a lot more and it would ease people into it more.
Mm.
Like imagine playing, say, like Cyberpunk or something, where you still move around and aim and shoot with your keyboard and mouse, but you can look around independently with your head wearing a VR headset.
Right.
Is this just gonna be a dedicated stream to just the Game Awards?
Yeah, let's, if you would like, we can zip through some of these, because we have a lot of other stuff to talk about, and I noticed I was like, we're only like halfway through here.
Well,
if you want,
best game Armored Core deserved it.
Yes, Armored Core deserved it. Best action adventure, Tears of the Kingdom. Yep. Out of the other ones, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom is a good one.
Why is Alan Wake in there?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I do not
one of
think
us needs to
that's
play
actually-
Alan Wake.
We'll talk about it later.
Best RPG, Baldur's Gate, agreed. Best fighting game, Street Fighter 6.
Nickelodeon All-Star were also the one.
Best family game, Mario Brothers Wonder. I agree. It is a really good one. It is a really good one. Best sim strategy game, Pikmin. Agreed. A lot of people really loved it. Best sports racing.
Don't care.
Well, I know Gwabby likes this. So Forza. I heard Forza's really good, but I have no idea.
Cargo Room.
Best multiplayer, Baldur's Gate. Agreed. Out of all of these, Baldur's Gate definitely wins. Most anticipated game, Final Fantasy VII. I know nothing about it.
Dragon to the one.
Content creator. Okay, we can take a moment on this. Content creator of the year. Out of all of these other people, Iron Mouse wins.
Never heard of them.
You've heard of Iron Mouse?
No, the other 4.
Oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I don't.
People
Well,
make games would
actually,
deserve it if they were
Quackity.
bit.
Oh, go ahead.
People make games would probably deserve it if they kind of stayed in their lane, because they've been kind of dickholes lately.
Really?
Fair enough.
Are they getting into politics?
They are being a lot more divisive on like what they're
Oh, I
doing
see.
instead of just sticking to the this one game is doing something that's objectively against the law, and kind of weaseling into, well, this one person is kind of, politically unsavory, so.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
I see. I know that Quackity's a Minecraft person.
He's a lot of things.
Yeah. And then Iron Mouse, out of everybody in V Shoujo, Iron Mouse, I don't like some of the things that she says, but I do think that she's the best one out of all of them, next to Henya, of course.
She works harder than any of them.
She does, and I think she's sick with everything, and she still works really hard.
What? Twitch just gave me a notification saying that I went live.
Oh, congratulations! Are you live?
I think Twitch is dying.
Is Twitch dying?
I think Twitch is dying.
Chad, if you're on Twitch and it's currently dying, the podcast channel is on YouTube and it's doing just fine right now. Just saying.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on. Best esports game, Valorant. Does anybody care about that?
Don't give a shit.
Awesome. Best esports athlete, don't know anything about this.
Oh, I heard Faker is actually pretty good. Good for him. Okay, let's continue.
Nice. Best esports team, don't know any of these people. Best esports coach, don't care.
Don't care.
Best esports event, nobody cares.
Don't care.
Player's choice. Alright, this one,
Baldur's
chat.
Gate 3, good job.
Yes, player's choice was Baldur's Gate 3. Everybody voted for Baldur's Gate 3. Congratulations. Baldur's Gate 3 stole it, ran away with it. Good for them. Alright.
You didn't win anything. Sucks for them. Sucks to suck. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy that Spider-Man didn't win anything because it didn't deserve anything because it's on PlayStation only. Okay. That's the Game Awards chat. Hope that you...
Shit.
What?
Nothing.
Are you okay?
That didn't sound like a nothing. Oh shit, what'd you knock over?
Nothing.
Okay, I'll trust you.
That was a panicked nothing.
No, that was a good nothing. That was fine.
Oh,
Okay.
Good. Congratulations. Mizu finally got his e-girl.
What?
You got an e-girl to talk to. I don't know. Let's move on from the Game Awards now. But congratulations, Game Awards. There was actually some cool reveals. Some people are actually thinking that Nintendo was going to reveal something because the Nintendo of America YouTube page, let me see if I can pull this up, because their picture, at least last time I checked, is blank. Oh, might not be anymore. Never mind, it's not anymore. It's fine now. But yesterday it was actually just when you are on YouTube, if you do not have a profile picture, it just makes your profile picture is the first letter of your first name on the channel. So it's just a big bright N. So, yeah.
What, a big bright N?
Yes.
Nintendo getting very sus.
How can
Anyways, give me 5 seconds.
Oh,
You
you're
guys keep
good.
talking.
How can I hate PlayStation? How can I be dissing something I've never played? I own a PS4. But so here's the thing, my entire issue with PlayStation is that there's nothing on it. Like, literally, Please tell me the amount of exclusive titles, and by exclusive, I don't mean that are going to be exclusive until a certain amount of time. I mean titles that will never move off of the PlayStation. The reason why I don't...
that matter
is
the only ones that matter is Bloodborne and Demon Souls.
And Spider-Man. That's it. PlayStation's the apple of gaming. Exactly. My problem isn't this, like, obviously I don't like PlayStation for a lot of other reasons. Their politics, how they treat their gamers, you know, all of those other things. The reason why I don't like them is they have no reason for me to care about them. Like, legitimately, if it didn't cost so much to get a PS5, and if they had things on there that I liked, I would get it. But they have nothing. Nothing. Like, 16's on there exclusively now, but it won't be forever. So I'm just going to play it when it comes out. You know, I think one of my friends really wanted to play that, oh, what's that game? Where that girl is the and that's not, where she's the protagonist, and it's like, she's fighting mecha animals, and, Horizon. Even the Horizon game, everybody thought the Horizon game was just gonna be exclusive forever. That's coming to PC very, very soon. So it's just like, they have nothing for me to enjoy. PC. The second one? Well, there you go.
Well, no, obviously the second one's coming because the first one already came.
Sony's showing it far more. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I've been, well, you know, with fucking, what was it? GTA 6 got announced and stuff. People were now doing the whole rumor mill of that GTA 6 might be a PlayStation 5 exclusive for a year before going to Xbox and PC, because Sony apparently has advertising rights over it.
Really?
It's just a rumor. It's not 100%
That's an interesting rumor,
but it's something.
Exclusivity, I think, is gonna mean a different thing. Again, that is the only reason. I mean, that's the biggest reason, because in my head, again, it's cost benefit analysis. How much is I'm gonna look this up right now. How much is a PS5? How much is the, I can't spell, the PS5? How much is the PS5 right now? It's just it's under $400. It's under $500 right now. Okay, $500 for the base console. Chat. Okay. And if I want to play online, there's other online fees that I have to play as well. Not only do I have to pay for that, I have to pay for the game itself. Games are $60 or $70 right now. At that point, $500 to play 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 games is not worth it. The difference between that and, let's say, the Switch, because again, I'm gonna bring up the Switch. What does the Switch have that the other consoles don't? Like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 games that you can't get anywhere else. No Nintendo game has been on any other console unless it's been done illegally. But if you want to buy it legally, all Nintendo games, always and forever, will be on Nintendo consoles. I will forever be more okay spending $300 or $400 or $500 on a Nintendo console, because the library is so much bigger. So much bigger.
I think it's also helpful that the library is curated.
That too.
Because that's a big issue that kind of comes up with people like, well, PlayStation could just do more exclusivity then. It's like, well, no, because PlayStation isn't making their own games.
No, they're not.
Paying for exclusivity from companies under them.
Yeah, they stopped making their own stuff.
Nintendo owns all these companies, like, in-house.
Yep.
Like, it's literally their stuff.
Nintendo games have? Which one? Well, even if they have, it's so seldom that I don't expect to ever see Mario on an Xbox or on a computer, unless I'm streaming it using a capture card. That is the only way I will ever see it him to jump out of the system, because it just doesn't happen. I know what to expect. And what do I expect from Sony? That the game that they have coming out that's all shiny and new is going to be on Steam or Epic a year later, so I can wait for it. I can't wait for a Nintendo game because it's just never going to come. I know what to expect. But with Sony, it's never going to come. Never.
Yeah.
So there's no reason. There's just no reason. There's no reason. They're really shooting themselves in the foot for that. And maybe the answer is being more exclusive, but they have nothing of worth. They have nothing of worth. I'm sorry. Sony's worst mistake was closing Japan studios. Exactly. Their worst mistake is the fact that they don't make anything anymore. They just license it. I mean, like, Microsoft, for all their faults, I know we were ribbing on them, but they still have the things that they own, but they lease it out to other people. So they're still making money. Microsoft's have Game Pass, you know? Xbox sucks, but Game Pass is actually pretty damn cool. Like, I would choose Xbox over PS5, just saying.
Oh, so, because this came up in chat, I'll keep it short, but I just want to complain about this again. I hate that people are like, well, Nintendo stops you from playing their old games. You know what you've never seen on those ROM sites that have 1 billion Nintendo games? You never see an Xbox or a PlayStation game on them.
No.
You know why? Because Xbox and PlayStation are actually way more sue happy than Nintendo has ever been. You will never catch Xbox and Sony games en masse on those ROM sites because Sony and Xbox have already sued them or sent them a cease and desist years before Nintendo did.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Like, let's stop pretending that Nintendo's special on the preventing you from playing old games thing.
Yeah.
Sony and Xbox. Sony tried to sue the actual people making the emulators to try and, like, cut it off at the source.
And they can't do
They
that.
lost, but they tried.
Yeah, so again, the whole point is, why buy a console when all of the things that are cool on it are just gonna be on my moddable console, the computer, a year or two later? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. The cost-benefit analysis is so far up, and I make so little money already that I can play around with that it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Oh, I feel they're not making any money.
So that's the only reason. I don't know. I'll just cap it off by saying this: the PS5 is for rich people and people that just choose that over everything else.
Sony ponies.
I don't know. Anyway,
Have
let's
you
move on.
Never heard that?
I have not.
They're called Sony ponies.
That's funny. I don't know. Let's move on. I don't want to keep harping on it because I'll go around in circles, and I don't go around in circles, chat, ever.
Oh, you only go around in circles. You know One Direction,
I do.
and it's turning right.
PC game. I understand PC gaming's not for everyone, and that's fine. That's fine, and I respect you for what you do. I'm just saying the cost benefit analysis of it is PS5 is a losing money sink for me.
I am going to smack you on the hand if we go back to this topic. What do we want to cover first?
Okay,
Do we want to do H Bomber Guy?
we can. I can keep talking about Bomberguy now.
Do we want to give chat backstory? Because not everyone spends all day on Twitter like we do.
Yes.
I only know what I know through what you guys have said and shooting the shit.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like the context in general of like why he's in the news at all.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I want to pull up his thumbnail so I can just
Yeah,
take a
guys.
picture
So
of
for
it.
those of you who don't know, on Twitter the other day, the Internet Historian was trending. If you don't know the Internet Historian, he makes these really good, really well-produced videos about like historical events. Sometimes they're like meme events, like the storming of Area 51, and sometimes they're real events, like the Costa Concordia. And H Bomber Guy made a video on plagiarism, and Internet Historian wasn't the like focus of it, but he was the one that everyone cares about.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, the other guy he was trying to cover, nobody knows who the fuck that guy is.
Oh gosh.
At least I don't. I've never heard of him before. Apparently he does like analysis on
Actually, hold
how
on.
games are LGBT or whatever. Nobody knows who he is. Everybody knows who Internet Historian is.
Let me drag this.
And long story short, people like Internet Historian way more than they like H Bomber Guy, to the point where even if we all agreed that Internet Historian definitely was a plagiarist, people would still side with him.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And people said that. Like, even under H Bomber Guy's Twitter post, they were like, Look, he could steal every single video he ever made, but he's funny, you're not.
Yeah, so let me just kind of set the stage here. I know nothing about Bomberguy. I still know nothing about him. All I know is that he is a content creator. I don't know if people liked him before, and now they just hate him because of his views changing. Because I know that he is friends with people that I don't necessarily like. But like, he made this video. Chat, I sat through, let's see, half of it, maybe just a little bit more than that. I could not sit through all of it. The reason being, he got to a content creator. I can't remember the content creator's name. I think the content creator's like, a gay, content creator that makes content focused around the LGBTQ. And he talked about that, and I was like, okay, this is just sounding like going around in circles talking about this one person, all the bad things that he's done. I couldn't get through it, but let me tell you what I do think of it. And I have I have a major issue with this video. I will tell you right now what I did like about it, because there were things I did like about this video, and he is correct on it. He talked about Illuminati, and you guys know Illuminati is a bad person, hurts a lot of people that's around her, and she's taking a lot of shit right now. Deserved shit right now.
And I will say, because one of the things he was complaining about was people talking about IH and not any of the other people he talked about. So I guess I can go through them in order as we get to them.
Yeah.
Nobody cared that he talked about Illuminati, because if you search up Illuminati, there's literally 70 videos of her that came out in the last 3 days. We've all heard to death what she's done. He's not special for saying it again.
Pretty much.
That's the only reason nobody was talking about her when it came to his video.
Yes. Because, like, the thing with Illuminati, and I see why he included her, because he's talking about plagiarism. Let me just explain it. He is talking about plagiarism in YouTube, and by plagiarism, I feel like he's trying to break it down into its purest form, but I also feel like he's trying to put his idea on what plagiarism is and hold people to a standard that he doesn't hold everybody to. Basically, he's holding it to people that steal other people's work, or quote-unquote steal other people's work, and use it in their videos. And so Illuminati was brought up for a couple different reasons, and some of these reasons I disagree with. One of the big ones is obviously when she plagiarizes other people's work and doesn't properly credit them. The big one that people point to is when she did a video on, I think, an anti-vaxxer, and like, she word for word started talking an interview that this person had made a video on, and did not do proper accreditation. And yeah, I definitely can say that probably can look like plagiarism to some people. She does credit them. However, like, the problem that he gives with her is she literally uses the entire interview for this one person that she is doing a documentary on, and it basically sounds like she did no research. And then he showed another example of her doing a video on a documentary for Fire Festival, and all of her sources are one video. So that's like his entire problem with her. He also takes issue with her reading Reddit posts and saying that it's plagiarism to read Reddit posts, which I disagree. I disagree. I think that when you post something on Reddit, you are, and here's where this is the big issue I have here. And Lumi, I feel like you can chime in if you want. The issue I have is, if I, as a content creator, decide to read your Reddit post and give my own commentary, at that point, it is no longer content. Well, it's not even content theft to just read it. To read it and give commentary is transformative by definition of law. It is. And I'm not going to say I'm a perfect lawyer here, but I just know I know this because it's like so important to me. But like, by reading something and giving commentary, you are transforming the work past its original. I'm trying to think. Help me out here.
Here, I'll add this for you. So, because I actually went over this with Oka before when we were discussing the Bomberguy thing in private. You don't even necessarily have to add the commentary. One fact of transformativeness is the audience even the same?
Yes.
So you have to ask yourself, is the person who watches someone read Reddit videos like while they're at work or something, the exact same person who is going to Reddit to read that exact same comment.
No.
Which typically no, because people listen to those videos because they don't want to go to Reddit and read them.
Yes, exactly.
They would rather just listen to somebody do it while they're at work, so they have something in the background, they have noise. And this has been tried in court and won before. If the audience is different, even if it's technically the same content, it can be considered fair use.
Yes. Yes. Do you remember the example, just to tell the audience if they're curious?
So some people are gonna know this. It's Sargon of Akkad uploaded somebody's YouTube video in its entirety with nothing but like the title on it changed and some of the description, because it was his description with like his sources and stuff, which I will kind of agree that I don't like that he won this necessarily, because I do feel like it's kind of teetering on possible content theft for other people.
Yes.
But the judge basically ruled that because the kind of people that would go to his channel to watch the video through his, like, political lens was not the same as the kind of person who would go to the girl's channel to watch her video because of her political lens, that it was a completely different audience, and she couldn't allege that he was stealing anything from her.
Because they wouldn't have watched her original video in the first place. So it's not like she was missing out on content, or I would say in a way that it kind of gives her more exposure, but not in the way that she wants. Because it's like the people that would have watched it would not have watched it on her channel. It's like when there are people that cover lolcows and talk about lolcows, or just people that like to talk about other people. When I talk about you and I use clips from you and like read out what you've said, I'm not taking away your audience. Your audience does not watch me. My audience would not watch you. So it's different, if that makes sense. So, basically, that is something that I contend Bomberguy gets wrong, because again, it's been proven that it's different. And reading Reddit posts, and here's the thing, when people read Reddit posts, and Lumi, I know when you did a stream on this recently, you did this, you showed the creator's like tag pretty front and center. People could see it if they really wanted to. So
Yes.
It's not like you're not crediting them. People can see who the OP is. Sometimes you even read some of their comments out loud. So it's just like, it's pretty transformative. I'd say that it gets into messy territory if you, like, don't say that you're reading Reddit stories and instead say, oh, I'm making up my own stories. That's plagiarism by not inferring that you get it from somewhere else, or being, like when it comes to Illuminati, she was pretty shady about saying, oh, yeah, I got all these sources from one place. It's not plagiarism then, because it's still being credited, just not in the way you want it to be. And that's one of the things that I don't like about this, is it's not credited in the way he wants it to be. So it's not like it's even against the law. It's, oh, the way you're doing it may not be against the law, but I don't like how you're doing it, so I think it's plagiarism. And that's the thing that I really don't like about this. The other thing I really don't like about this is when it came to Internet Historian, the way I feel like he started off Internet Historian was really bad, because he's like, oh, I know Internet Historian. He's that guy that made that one DashCon video and included a whole bunch of 2016 jokes from right-wingers. And it's just like, oh, now I'm not going to think anything other than just this is motivated because you don't like his character. And anything you say after this, I'm not paying attention to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's called poisoning the well on his part.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know, poisoning the well is when you start your argument by trying to make a villain out of who you're talking about. That way your audience is predisposed to just agree with you.
Yeah.
Because, like, oh, you're clearly right because that person is a bad person. So, of course, he starts his section on Internet Historian with, Internet Historian's a bad guy. Mm-hmm. And we all don't like bad guys here.
Yeah. Yeah, so... And I didn't know this about Internet Historian. I didn't know that he actually, because like I thought that the thing with the Internet Historian, he puts so much time and effort into these videos. I just thought that this was all things that he researched. I didn't know that like he grabbed an article and just didn't credit them. I think that's kind of scummy that he didn't credit it. He did end up having to change it around. I feel like there's more that's not being told here, but
oh yeah, so it's important to mention that he's talking about one video that it's called The Man in the Hole or The Man in the Cave or something.
The Cave, yes.
It's basically a dramatic retelling of an article the whole way through. And I think that's another thing that Bomberguy really gets wrong when he's talking about it, is it's not just he read an article and pretended it was his, which I think that would be more scummy, but he actually, like, he has unique graphics for it. It's like this whole song and dance production that he made out of it.
It's a movie, basically.
Yeah, and he's got his own, like, jokes and stuff mixed in it. So, like, there's a lot of extra stuff to it. And then he kind of ends off his section with Internet Historian trying to claim that, well, I didn't look and see if he ever plagiarized anything else, but, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire, or whatever.
Yeah, and that's just very disingenuous. It's just like, okay, bro.
And people looked because of what he said, and they've basically not been able to find anything.
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of paints Internet Historian in an even better light, and that this probably was something he just didn't think was a problem. Because he was doing like this whole dramatic retelling of it, rather than like a malicious, I'm gonna steal this person's article, and it's gonna be mine.
No, I think when it even comes to that, I'll be honest, if he went to court over it, the judge would probably say, you didn't credit it, but I personally feel like it's fair use, because yeah, he's using a retelling. He didn't credit it, which sucks. However, with all of the work he put into it, it's an entirely new audience was exposed to it that would not have found the original work or cared about the original work. And so, again, just going back to the Sargon thing, and I personally feel like it was sufficiently transformative, and I don't think that the original should have gone down. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it would have been very nice for him to credit it.
It would have. Crediting's always nice. Yeah.
But it's definitely... This is something like I was having disagreements with Bomberguy's fans. There's a difference between you're technically right and you're so close to being technically wrong that it comes off like you're lying.
Yes.
And that's how I feel Bomberguy's video section on him was. It is so close to being technically wrong that I feel like he knew what he was doing, and he's just lying about it.
And the reason why I definitely agree with that is, do you want to know the one other thing that he goes after that makes me laugh my head off when I know who his friends are? Reaction content and drama streamers. So chat, right now, according to Bomberguy, we're plagiarizing because we're talking and feeding and farming off of the drama of all of this. Lumi, Mizu, you and we're all plagiarizers here because we read tweets, we look at people's stuff, and we steal their content out of their little fingers. We keep them. All of the people that are watching our stream right now that would have seen their tweets and been a little impression on Twitter, we're stealing it from them. Do you wanna know who else does that?
Well, I told this to you, and I'll say it so chat can hear it. I think the funniest part of that was him trying to do the reaction content thing. He is reaction content. Like, I don't think he understands this. He is drama reaction content. By going through Internet Historian's video, like, beat by beat like he did, that is reaction drama content.
Pretty much.
So by his own definition, he's plagiarizing everybody he talked about in that video.
Pretty much. And I will say also, the other thing that makes me laugh is he's friends with Hassan. This man is a friend of Hassan's. And,
for those of you who don't know, Hassan is very famous for watching a video by a guy called JXE. And while watching the video by JXE, he starts the video, watches 1 minute of like this 15-minute video, says, "Oh guys, I'm gonna go get something," stands up, walks away, and just lets the video play in entirety for 15 minutes. And he gets back right at the end of it, just as JXC's about to like plug his channel and his socials and stuff, and he just goes, "Oh, this guy doesn't get to plug his stuff on my channel," and immediately cuts the video off.
Yeah, so this is the entire crux of the thing for me. Bomberguy, you had a few decent points. All of them are set on fire, stomped on, and then burned. You burned the ashes of the fire that you started. Due to the fact that you're friends with and you continue to not call out your horrible reaction friend Hassan Piker. And the thing that's even more funny is people started to point this out. People on Twitter were like, hang on a moment, aren't you friends with this guy? And people like, no, he's an ethical reactionary person. I'm like, motherfucker. Are you kidding me?
Person.
Are you kidding me? You're trying to split, like, okay, when I was young, my mom would say this. She would say, Akko, don't you dare split hairs with me. And chat, the meaning behind that is, do you know how hard, well, my hair, it's very easy to split. But if you take an individual strand of hair and you take a butcher's knife, do you think you could split that hair? No, you can't, because you're not able to, it's able to be done, but you can't do it very easily because you're not perfect. All right? Don't split hairs with me on this. The fact that he's not calling out Hassan Piker for Hassan Piker's blatant plagiarism, all right, sitting through a video beginning to end, that's blatantly plagiarism, according to Bomberguy. And the fact that he's not calling it out, I think his entire video means absolutely nothing.
Hassan Piker is just really fucking stupid.
Absolutely nothing. I agree. It's just, you cannot make a 4-hour video morally grandstanding about all these people. And again, he inserted some actually bad people in this. Like, his first one was about a writer that actually did plagiarize other people, and they had to fire him. And I believe he was talking about the angry video game nerd as well. Like, there are actually people that suck that actually did plagiarize, but his entire point is null and void due to the fact that Hassan Piker is not on that list. He didn't call out the actual plagiarizers here. It makes no sense.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Just, how can you be friends with those people and then make this video? You can't. I don't know.
It's perfectly fine if his friends do it.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine when my friends do it, guys. It's all right because they actually like are quote unquote. I don't know what is the definition of an ethical streamer. I don't feel like that's something I'll find on Google. What the fuck is an ethical streamer?
An ethical streamer?
Or an ethical like reactionary person? I don't
well,
know.
if you ask YouTube, they would say Sniper Wolf.
Ooh, very true. Very true. So, that's the Bomberguy video. I went through half of it. I couldn't finish it, but like, my man, get off that high horse and bring Hassan with you, because I can't. I can't. Oh, that's all I got for that. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
No, I thought it was really funny that he would bring up all these like super bad people and then bring up internet historian and only have one example.
Yeah, it's very obvious that he just doesn't like internet historian for what he believes are perceived anti-LGBTQ alt-right thoughts. And it's just like, dude, that was one video about DashCon that was a trash fire. And I think everybody can laugh at that. Who cares?
Yes.
Well, even then, it's the same argument people use with E semicolon R. Like, he makes edgy jokes. Yeah, makes edgy jokes from, like, the opposite side of what you think is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still jokes. I'm sorry you didn't pick up on this.
Yeah.
Alright, what's next?
Well, we have AI Girl, if y'all want.
Yeah, we could do AI girls.
AI
since, you know,
girl.
people are pity following her like fucking crazy.
I should pull up her screenshots.
Yeah, here, I'll go pull us up screenshots.
Was I the one that discovered her?
Yes, you were.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull up her Twitter account as well. Let me see if it's still available.
I wish I had the fucking
It is.
foresight to you know, archive her shit, but I think I was at work while all that shit was happening.
It's okay.
You know what? You need to start using Ghost Archive.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
You're okay. Just start using it.
Okay. I mean, I got screenshots of what I feel like is the most important part here. Okay, chat. I'm going to show you a VTuber that I do not believe exists. This VTuber is not real. Okay? Their name is Miss Fame. This is old. This is their name. Their name is Missy now. So this VTuber popped up on my feed. Now, chat, I will tell you. I don't really scroll Twitter very often. I usually do it in bursts of like a couple minutes every single day when I have moments. And when I do, sometimes I come across the gems. This is one of them. Missy, or Miss Fame VX, I discovered her because she had a thread. This is the first line. Just an announcement because I'm starting to get canceled. And when I see someone say that, I'm like, ooh, what's this? It's just crazy. I don't know why she was trying to get canceled. I don't understand it. But I looked into her account because typically when people are like, oh, I'm getting canceled, people hate me, they typically have a decent following. This person, when they made that post and I read it, they had like 600-700 followers. They have a decent amount of followers. I'll give you a reason why I think that's the case when we're in a moment. They have a decent amount of followers. I looked at their Twitch. Their Twitch has 375 followers. So I'm like, okay.
Played updated.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the past 30 days, she got her 1,438 followers.
Okay, so in 1 month, she's gotten all of her followers.
And then, well, let's see. Just on Tuesday the 5th, she gained 513.
Jeez. Yeah, again, I'll come back to that in a moment, but thank you so much. You're helping me out with what I was thinking. So this girl is just like, oh, I'm getting canceled. Let me read this. Actually, Lumi, would you like to read it?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
All right. Just an announcement, because I'm starting to get canceled, harassed, and some are threatening to come into my streams for something I didn't do, and I didn't know. I'm sick of the VTuber community trying to cancel people. Firstly, I debuted less than a month ago. When I debuted, I had 0 followers on all socials, including here. I wasn't expecting any viewers, followers, nothing. I got my model from what I thought was a legit company. They had hundreds of 5-star reviews and hundreds of customers. I used them. Just until I had enough money to get a better model. I'm poor. Laugh all you want. Some of you already have. Imagine my surprise when apparently it's AI and I've been scammed. Like, how the fuck was I supposed to know? I didn't make her. The 700+ star reviews and images were legit. I already spent $700 on a new model with a legit company this time. Girl, if you're poor, how do you just drop $700 on a model? With a legit company this time, confirmed, as I've seen a lot of you use them. Models take time, please be patient. Sadly, I will have to postpone Tuesday's stream and all streams until my new model arrives. I've literally been harassed in the last 24 hours, and it's unacceptable. Hopefully my 2.0 model comes soon. I'm so sorry for disappointing you, everyone. I generally didn't know. You mean genuinely, my girl? Mm-hmm. I thank everyone who submitted their models for me to review. If you let me, I would like to still do it when I get my better model.
Awesome. Thank you. So, I do believe that some people were pointing out, hey, you've got an AI model. Let's see, can I find... Actually, I'm not going to look through her profile. I don't know what she posts. But, like...
She doesn't post any not safe for work stuff because she doesn't have shit to post not safe for work of.
Okay, then maybe I can safely scroll through here. I want to see a picture of her model if she's got it. She probably doesn't. I'm going to say she probably doesn't. But here's what I will tell you. Chat, people picked apart this model. Apparently it is AI. The easiest tell that I can think of is the bow right here. Like, if you look at this, it's a little bit off. Just a little bit.
Look up at the right ear.
The right ear. This one.
Look at like how the hair is all fucked up. It's like fusing. It's a different color. It's fusing into the head. and the ear is layered on top of it.
Yeah, she deleted. She went through all of her replies and deleted every single model of hers.
Right.
Every single picture of the model.
And like,
Oh, but there is this. Hold on, I'll post it.
oh, do you have a picture?
It's a stream clip.
Oh, perfect.
But it still shows, like, you know, a good chunk of her model.
Perfect, perfect.
There you go. I'll keep scrolling, though.
Let's take a look at this.
You see it in the distance?
She looks like a K-pop stan.
She kind of does, yes. She sounds like a little girl too, and although that might just be her entire thing. I don't know, chat. Like, it's not a bad looking model. However, there are just I don't know. There's just quite a few tells, in my personal opinion.
See,
Like,
I'll be the one to say it. I genuinely don't care if it's AI or not.
no, I don't
Yeah.
either. I think that's the thing. Is it's just like, I don't really care that much. The thing that like got me interested in this person, that like legitimately made me like, this person was, because like again, when most people say this, they have 0 followers, like her, because she basically has 0 followers. But the reason why I find her so interesting is because it feels manufactured. Like, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but like, it just feels so freaking manufactured. Oh, thank you for that. It feels
You're
so
welcome.
manufactured. So, it feels like she bots her followers, whatever. Is this our Twitter?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, chat, it just feels like she bots and manufactures everything about her. People might not know, I use ads on my YouTube channel to share my videos so that people that may not have been able to see it naturally can, because I personally feel like that using ads is fine. However, I and I feel like pretty much everybody else is against botting, spending illegal money to have fake accounts subscribe to you. I will let you chat know, or we'll let you guys decide if you think that she is bot. I don't know. Obviously we don't know. We'll probably never know.
Some people went through her followers and said that the majority of them are bots.
You think so? Or what they think so? Okay.
Well, I
So-
think we should probably get into like one of the things that ended up drawing a lot of people to talk about her, which was that nobody could find where the hate was.
This is true. Like, that's the other thing. It's just like, wait a minute. If you're getting all of this hate, if you're getting canceled, how come I've never heard of you before? Because again, she's got like nobody following, and that's not a diss at all. Everybody starts out somewhere, all right, and that's totally fine. But like, she has 300-400 followers on Twitch. She has, at the time that this happened, she had like 600 followers on her Twitter. Like, in my head, I was like, is this somebody that's like trying to hide? It's like, no, people. It just feels like she's manufacturing drama about this model, saying, guys, stop worrying about it, stop caring about it. It's like, please just don't care about me. And like, I feel like a lot of people, when they see that, unfortunately get suckered into the thought of trying to give sympathy to people that seem like they're innocent. I don't know if it's the anime profile picture. They just feel bad for the cute anime deer mouse person. I don't know what that is.
I mean,
but
they got large accounts to follow them, that's for sure.
how? Yeah, I like legitimately nobody. The only person I know follows her is a Clipper, but that's fine. Clippers follow a lot of people, but like I don't understand it. Where's the drama coming from? And I didn't see any. And I started noticing people saying, "Hang on a moment, you're using an AI model." And the drama when she started sympathy posting and trying to get people's attention, the attention did kind of come in, and everybody's like, "Hang on a moment." You did know, because apparently she did know it was an AI model, and she's just trying to say, no, it's totally not, and all that kind of crap. Like, can I?
Yeah. She was literally copy and pasting. See, a month ago I had no followers. That one?
Yeah.
It was literally the exact same thing copied and pasted on every single time someone was like, hey, yeah, that you knew it was an AI model this entire time, like a month ago. And she was like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. Pretty much. So a lot of it's just really weird. For a while I thought she deleted her account because it wouldn't show up anymore. She ended up changing her name. I don't think she has made any tweets in a few days. Yeah, she hasn't tweeted since yesterday, but that's fine. Oh, she deleted like all of her posts, like the post that these screenshots I took. She deleted this tweet. She deleted this tweet. It's gone from the internet forever, except for here, because chat. I take pictures. I take screenshots. I took this at. I think the reason why I couldn't do better is I was at work. That's why I got these. But it's just like, why do you have to manufacture? Like, I hate people that manufacture drama like this. Like, make something, like, if you want to get on something that's real, at least. This just didn't feel so real. It feels so fake from the very beginning. Why do you feel so fake? Missy, VTuber, like, you're changing your name around, all this stuff. I think she wants to run away from it now. I don't know. I don't know. Now she's like, oh, I'm not going to stream with a model anymore. I'm going to stream with a PNG until I get the real thing. And it's just like, what are you? I don't know. So I'm going to pay more attention to her. If something happens, I'll talk about her more. But it's just really weird.
Okay, I don't know if she deleted her Twitch or she renamed her Twitch as well. But that means she can't change her. She can't change her Twitch name for what, 45 days if she tries to rebrand again? Yeah, she changed it to Missy VT.
She did.
Ex Missy VT.
She did.
It's like, why rebrand if you didn't do anything wrong?
That's interesting.
I think the part of me, so I've said this before, but I feel like people's names can kind of give away their mentality sometimes. She literally called herself Miss Fame.
Yeah.
Like, let's, come on. It reminds me of when that one speedrunner renamed themselves to Narcissa.
Yes.
Like, come on, guys. You can't, like...
And that was
intentional.
intentional.
You know they're bullshitting you. Come on.
Pretty much. No, it's...
Why do I have to pretend that these people are legitimate?
And it's just like, guys, there's so many ways to get... Like, there are many legitimate ways. Like, if people approached me and said, what have you been doing to grow? I will tell you. I don't tell people out in the open because I don't just tell everybody what I do. I tell people that, like, come and ask me,
He doesn't want competition.
It's not that. I don't care if there's competition because competition forces me to improve.
Thank you for the raids.
Hi
Spark.
Oh, welcome.
Hi, Idol. How are you guys doing? Thank you for the raid.
What's your name say about you? Oh, my name is a dick joke.
Hi.
I didn't know
real
that.
quick.
Did you not know?
I am a mermaid VTuber, and right now we are doing Under the Tea with Occo and Mizu.
Welcome.
You joined in at a very good time.
Yes.
We are talking about that VTuber that was bitching about getting bullied, and she turned out having an AI model.
Yep.
So that's fun.
Yep. I didn't know that, Mizu, that your name is a dick joke.
Your name was a dick joke?
That's funny.
Yeah, my name MizuhanaShibe is technically a dick joke.
You're gonna have to explain it to people now.
Mizuhana is Japanese for water flower.
Okay.
Which is like that's pretty normal. Oshibe means stamen.
Oh.
I get it. Because Chad, if you don't know how plants work, the stamen isn't the stamen the one that like
stamen would be considered the male part of a plant.
The male part of the plant, yes, because unlike humans, plants reproduce with themselves basically, and there's the male and female part of the flower or plant. So you, so your name is literally just seawater dick.
Seawater plant dick.
Wow, that's funny.
Seawater plant
It reminds me of like the monster because there's like monster girl plants that are like that.
I thought it was funny.
That's great. That's absolutely amazing. It's great. Anyway, going back to this VTuber, I don't know where she's gonna go from here. I just like, just from the observation, I just feel like now she's like trying to be quiet about it. Like, oh, forget about me. If she does something more interesting though, I'll let you guys know.
We'll watch her like a hawk.
Indeed.
Keep an eye on her because it could be really funny.
She won't replace my current nemesis though, because my current nemesis is with me for life. This is kind of just like a side. It's kind of like a side piece. You know what I mean?
My current nemesis will just continuously be annoying until she decides to graduate.
Do you want to talk about her? I know she was saying some things recently.
Give us a Nemesis update.
Nemesis update. Let's see here. Posting more of her nudes on her Twitter.
Lovely.
I've saved every single one.
How dare.
What was the other one?
She's posting them for everybody. I feel like I'm allowed to.
That's a
It's a
$5
good-
discount.
It's a compelling argument there.
5-finger discount.
Very compelling argument.
What else? Insufferable, as per usual. Please garner sympathy for me. I'm a sick little Victorian child.
So is she actually sick?
I don't know. She likes
She
to
might
say
be.
that she is, but I don't know.
Okay.
She says she's gonna die in a couple years, but who knows?
Fair enough. Chat, my rule of thumb is if somebody constantly has to say that they're sick, they're not sick. Or they're being very overdramatic. Because they're...
I am happy from that description alone, you just know who it is without me naming.
Who is Lumi's nemesis for science reasons? The Aria Siren.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, unlike mine, you were never friends with them, so you feel okay saying their name.
Yeah.
Um,
And also she's done wrong by Mizu, so I gotta throw hands.
There you go.
And
There you
also she
go.
hates men.
There you go. No, but like... Oh, what was it? I just lost what I was going to say. Never mind.
Were you gonna give a nemesis update?
Oh, my nemesis hasn't done anything interesting. They were complaining for a while, asking people for money, and then they were saying, "Oh, my computer's gonna crap out," and then they ended up having to get a new computer because I can't stream without one. Which I will say this: if you need a new computer, that is a good thing to say. Hey, chat, mind helping me out a little bit? The problem
Didn't they get like a $2,000 computer?
Yeah, okay. Yes. And by the way, chat, I do not name my nemesis because they don't deserve the attention. Okay? Just letting you know. Just letting you know.
We all treat our nemesis differently.
Yes,
And
mine does not deserve the attention, so I am not going to name them. If you know them, I encourage you not to say who they are, because if you do, and they do decide to bring that attention to them, I will go scorched earth. And all I'm saying is just don't ruin it for them, because anyway, what I was gonna say is their computer crapped out, they need a new one. Okay, fine, fair enough. The problem is they went all out. Like, if you need a new computer for streaming, I feel like you can comfortably get away with something that's like $1,000, maybe $1,200. Worst, like, if you want to play Cyberpunk 2077, fine, $1,500 maybe, and you can get something with a third. Like, I had to build a streaming computer because what I do requires 2 computers, and at the time my 3D model took way too many resources. But I had to buy a second computer so that I could actually continue streaming, and I spent $1,000 on the second one. And I went cheap. I bought the cheapest case I could find that would fit what I needed. I looked for deals. I looked for deals on places that I could find. I got at cheap stuff, and I put it together by myself, and it actually came together pretty well. You can connect 2 computers. You can technically connect as many computers as you want. You just gotta know how to get them to communicate with each other. Here's the thing: they don't communicate between each other. The way that you see my screen is I use a capture card, because the way that capture cards work is it doesn't capture a console, it captures the video content that the console outputs. So my capture card believes that it is capturing a console of some sort, and it's actually my computer. And all it does is take the video output that comes from my video card, and it streams it to the other screen. And for the audio, I just have an audio in and an audio out cable that goes from the back of one of my computer into my my mixer and into the other one. That's how that works. They're not really communicating. Although I know how to make them communicate, so I can share. Both of them share a hard drive space. I can pull hard drive from my streaming computer onto my main. Anyway, bit of a long story just to say, you can get away, in my opinion, if you need something new to start off fresh to stream with, $1,000, $1,200, all right?
Yeah.
They bought $2,000 computer, 4K monitor, brand new desk, the whole 9 yards, all right?
And don't they play gacha games.
They also play gacha games. Yes, the gacha games is their hugest, like the biggest thing. Like, okay, if you want to talk about a bad game to play to grow off of, especially if you want to do this for a living, don't choose the one thing that requires you to gamble all the time. All right? All right?
Yeah.
There's enough gamblers online to laugh at. This is just pitiable at this point, because gacha games literally do not reward you. They do nothing but steal from you all the time. It's really sad. Really sad. And they bought their new computer. It came. It arrived. Cool.
It's like,
good for you.
it's just funny. Hey, I need money. I'm poor. Hey, so look at my $2,000 computer, look at my $700 monitor, and look at my brand new desk.
Like,
Ooh,
I'm
fancy.
what I'm waiting for, because this happened, like, legit chat. I made this meme up with one of my friends who also knows this person. I made this meme, and the reset the clock meme, where, you know, whenever somebody like says something, it's like, okay, it's time to reset the clock. I actually took a record of it. The shortest amount of time between them asking for money was like 6 weeks. 6 weeks. So I'm waiting to see what the next record is, of how short it takes before they start to say, I need money. My parents are telling me that they're going to kick me out, that I'm going to have to get a job. 6 weeks, chat. 6 weeks before it just...
They need to get a part-time job and feel
I
like
agree.
an adult.
I agree. Here's the thing. And it is basically, they are basically a VTuber DSP. Yes, Gwebby. Here's what I think. Everybody I've talked to, even the people that they're friends with, thinks that they should get a job of some sort. Okay? Everybody thinks that they need to have some sort of job that's not streaming. Because streaming is their job, chat. All they do is stream. They stream, which means that's like, if they're not, and they're not a big streamer, alright? I'm just gonna tell you that right now. They're not a big streamer. They're irrelevant to the internet. That's why you'll never find them. Unless you know the deep lore of me, you're never gonna find them, alright? But like, they are so irrelevant that they do not make money off of ad revenue. Do you wanna know where that money comes from? The fans. The fans bankroll them. And I am fine with the fans bankrolling you. But all they do is beg and beg and beg for more money. Beg and beg and beg for more money. It's just sad. And at the end of the day, do you want to know who the real victim is? The chat. You guys. The people that are here for the content. By the way, the content that is free, alright? You should never have to pay for my content. If you do decide to give me money, it's because you want to support the further producing of content. I'm never going to say, give me money or there will be no more content. That's selfish of me. What I should say is, I should incentivize myself to give you content that is so good that you feel like, without me having to say it, and with the expectation that it'll get better. That's what I always tell people.
Give me more money, chat.
Give me more money, I'm poor.
Give me money.
Give me more money.
And that's all they do. That's all they do. Like, all they do is stream. They've never really had a good job. I think they may have worked a job once, but they don't work a normal job, ever. And it's sad. And again, I'm just waiting for the day where they're like, guys, my parents are saying this is the last ultra time. And I didn't say this before when I talked about them. I'm gonna say it right now. I don't care what happens. I also think they're faking it. I think they're faking their parents coming down on them. I think they're, like, legitimately, with how often they say my parents are getting on me, I no longer believe that their parents are getting on them.
Ooh,
No, I don't believe it.
I just thought of something.
Oh?
This reminds me of a TikTok liver that was saying, my mom's kicking me out, guys. I need money. I don't know what to do. And his mom fucking walked into the live and said, what is this that I'm hearing that I'm kicking you out? Why is your aunt saying this?
Like,
It's
legit.
And then he started pushing her out of the room.
Like, legit, I don't believe that this VTuber will ever get kicked out. Do you want to know why? They're in their mid-30s. They've lived with their parents their whole life. And their parents have never, like, their parents have sort of kind of maybe pushed them a little bit, but I don't feel like their parents are pushing them. I don't feel like their parents care that much. So I fundamentally believe that this VTuber lies that their parents are getting hard on them, and use that, like, there's a term for that, by the way, chat, where you lie to try and get a response out of your chat. It's called grifting. It's called grifting. They're a VTuber lolcow. Yes, they are. They're just not important enough for me to actually, like, talk about them in a full way. They're just not that important. They're not that important, chat, at all. Like, and I say that with the utmost sincerity. They are not that. They're not. They are so unimportant that I'm not even naming them. That is how unimportant it is. So, but the only reason why they're my nemesis is because I knew them for so long, and I have to laugh at their antics. So, yeah, they got a new computer. Congrats to them. Hopefully, they learn how to use it, but they don't know how to make content. So,
I have to agree, though. I doubt their parents will kick them out.
No.
At 30, because I've seen it with people before, in order for your parents to kick you out at that age, if they've let you live at home that long, you've got to be, like, super destructive and violent.
pretty much.
Because pushover parents like that typically aren't going to kick you out unless you're hurting someone.
Pretty much. No, yeah.
And even then, they probably need an intervention if they've let it go on that long.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
if you look at lolcows on the internet that are pretty famous, their parents don't kick them out because their parents don't care, or their parents have no way to encourage them to move on. It's just a cycle of perpetual abuse where like, legitimately nobody profits from this. And, like, at the beginning, you're, like, feeling bad for the parents because it's just like, man, I feel bad for these parents. Maybe they're just catching a bad break. They don't know how to get rid of them. Maybe they're afraid of this person. And then you start to think,
They created this person.
they created this. Have we gone to the doxing yet?
Sounds like an only child.
We're gonna talk.
No, we haven't gotten to doxing.
We're gonna talk about the doxing. I will end off with this final bit for my nemesis. I apologize for taking so much time on the nemesis. I have taken too much time on this, but, like, the one final thing I will say about them for today. Another reason why I don't like them is because they also wanted to dox somebody else. They will probably have selective memory about this, and they will probably say I am lying. But I remember when they were still somewhat in the Danganronpa roleplay scene, and they had a friend that was afraid of something, and they were pushed off the internet for a little while. They came back, thankfully. But this VTuber got so mad, they wanted to dox the people that pushed off they wanted to dox the people that pushed off their friend. They legit was like, how can I get these people's names? How can I get them to get off of the internet? Because they did this to my friend. And that is the reason why I don't like them. Because they will use their emotions to make their decisions for them. Like I understand emotional things are high. If somebody pushed Lumi off the internet, I'd be pissed off. Because, friends gotta stick together, and she's effing amazing, But, like, I don't want to dox somebody over that. Threatening to dox somebody, to take somebody's information, to push them into submission, that is a bitch fucking move. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, just saying, that's why I don't like them. They attempted to dox. They were, I don't know how serious they were, but they were legitimately like, I want to get revenge on these people. I want to get their information and scare them. So,
yeah.
Just saying, I don't like them for that reason. I don't like them. Anyway, speaking of doxing, though, how much do we want to talk about with the individual that was doxed? I know that I personally feel like
we don't have to. It's like, I know people probably already know, but we don't have to name who got doxed and stuff. We can just say 2 people got doxed.
Yes, 2 people were doxed. Do you guys want to take point on this?
Yeah,
Okay.
we could just talk about it because I don't feel like loading up Ghost Archive and going through everything because it's just exhausting.
Yes.
But the overall thing about this is that as someone who some people do not like got doxed, and people were celebrating it or saying, wow, how ironic, and saying that they got a laugh out of it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people did.
And it's like, as content creators, especially on the VTuber side of things, it's a thing where everyone should just agree, hey, privacy is important. And, you know, either don't talk about or push down any information that may come out about somebody. But just because this person isn't liked by a certain side of the VTuber sphere, they're like, haha, look at this, deserved, should have happened earlier, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, what if this happened to, you know, someone that they knew? What would they do? They'd say, oh, this is so wrong, this person didn't deserve it. But they're saying, oh, it's fine if it happens to this person, or if a VTuber is on the side that they don't like. It's like, it should be agreed upon that no one's personal information should be out on the internet whatsoever. Because it's one thing if it's just a name. But we don't know if it's confirmed. If it's this individual's information, it could just be a complete bullshit location and stuff. But possible information from address to other highly detailed things were put out on Kiwi farms. So, like, that shouldn't have happened whatsoever.
I will say, because I do think that now here's what I would say: doxing is wrong, but depending on the person, I feel bad, but I have to wonder how it happened, because and I explained this last night when I was on Rosa's podcast. The way that here's how doxing works, chat. I'm gonna give you a lesson, and then I'm gonna tell you not to do it, because obviously it's very invasive. You can get in trouble, and in some cases it is illegal. But here's how doxing works. Say you get somebody's first and last name, or you get a very revealing picture of somebody, like their house with the house number on it, or the street, or you know where somebody was married and you know their first name. All right, all that it takes to find somebody is very minute pieces of specific information. IP addresses can in some ways lead to the dox of a person. However, I feel like it's less known using an IP address to get somebody's information. So the way that information like that ends up becoming more spread is through the disregard of your own private life. Now, the person that got doxed, I will say, probably made some mistakes with what they decided to share. One of the things that, because I read about this, because I'm always interested to see how this happens, so I can improve my own life, how it doesn't happen to me or people around me. How it happened is they compared photos from this individual's pictures that they took of their house, along with comparing names of the other person that got, because these people are related, the other person that got doxed, and reference their name to Facebook names. And they referenced one time that this person referenced a family member and used that to figure out their Facebook information. From there, all they had to do was find the other person's Facebook information, find pictures of that house, and they knew exactly where they were. It is that stupid, all right? It is that insane. That is how it works. All you need is just enough. A first and last name, where they might live, you know, all of these tiny things that you might not think are that big of a deal are a gigantic deal. Like, I know a trans streamer that was swatted and decided to flee to another country. They were doxed twice in their hotel according to the bed sheets of their hotel. People cross-reference bed sheets at hotels on Google. That is, if somebody wants to find you, they will look at every single thing that you post in order to find that. And so if you want to minimize this, you have to ask yourself, what am I okay posting, and what can be used to find other details to be used to find me or people around me. And at that point, you just never want to post pictures of yourself ever again.
Yeah.
So somebody in chat mentioned it, and I'll mention it here because I actually talked about it in one of our chats the other day. Yes, the lesson is never use Facebook. The reason the lesson is never use Facebook is because Facebook is actively trying to connect you to your real identity, whether you want them to or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If they get really desperate, they will lock your account and just tell you that in order to unlock it, you're going to have to give them your real information. But that's only when they get desperate, and that really doesn't happen that often because most of the time they have all your information.
Yes.
If you've ever entered your phone number into Facebook, they have immediately synced you up with every family member that has your phone number that is connected their contacts.
Yep.
Yep.
If they see you like connecting from a certain area, they will immediately try and connect you with people in the area around you.
Yep.
Facebook is actively trying to connect you with as many people as possible. So if you really don't want any issues, don't use Facebook.
Exactly.
They will use any information you give them.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, remember when VTubers were like, okay, we need to abandon Twitter and stuff when Elon first bought it? What was that platform made by Meta that VTubers just made accounts for and probably has never touched and has their personal Facebooks, Instagrams, or whatever now connected to it without their knowledge? Threads, that's what it was called.
Let me look it up. Was it Threads? Yes. So
Threads.
the thing with Threads, chat, if you have so here's how Meta Facebook works. I'll give you guys a quick, because most of you probably don't use Facebook. It's probably something that you think is taboo and all that kind of stuff. Here's how Facebook works. You make a Facebook. All right. You might want to make an Instagram account. You can just use your Facebook. All right. Bam, click, done. You probably are forced to use your Facebook at this point. You probably have to have some sort of presence already on Meta to have it. And then from Instagram, you can create a Threads. You cannot, I don't know if it's different now, but when it first started, you had to use Instagram to make a Threads account. And you could not delete your Threads account without deleting your Instagram account. All right?
Yep.
So imagine all of this swirl of tied information, all right, is tied to your Facebook account, is tied to your Instagram account, and now you've made a Threads account that is off to the side there. Oh man, that's a treasure trove. See, this is why I didn't make a Threads account, because everyone was like, oh, we're gonna go to Threads. We're gonna get one in on that billionaire we don't like. We're gonna go to another billionaire we don't like. We're just gonna suck it to that guy because that guy we don't like. All right, but we're just gonna go make a Threads account. Do you know all of your information is probably tied to your Threads account, especially if you're one of the first people to make it? Congratulations.
Yep. Thank you for the follow.
So there you go.
And the issue isn't just that it takes all your information and connects it, it will actively give it out to people.
Yes.
Like, they
Yeah.
all
won't
the
give you
time.
away your address, but if they think somebody is close to you, they'll immediately tell that person, hey, this person lives close to you. And that's all they really need to start picking apart your information.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Because
And
they can get like recommendations like, this person is near these other people. Then they'll go to those other people, and those other people will be boomers that handed out literally all their information. And you have just been doxxed by proxy.
Yes. Pretty
Yep.
much.
And
Pretty
it's
much.
just like, at least, like, the one thing that Elon has over Mark Zuckerberg is at least Twitter doesn't have a class action lawsuit literally every other week
Over data leaks.
Pretty
over
much.
data leaks.
And that's the thing, is like, just scrolling back to the doxing thing. I feel very bad for the person, because I don't believe anybody deserves to have their personal life interrupted. When it comes to doxing, I feel like to some extent everybody's already been doxed by phone books, by internet websites. It's just not compiled. When people talk about doxing, they're not talking about what's already out there, because guess what? It's already out there. It's just not compiled. It's not in one place for everybody to look at. Your life is not compiled. It's a mess.
Mhm.
And if you want it to continue to stay a mess, be smart. All right? If this person that got doxxed takes anything away from this, do not post pictures of your house. Do not post personal pictures of your... Like, that is... What's funny is, as far as I know, the person that got doxxed never posted pictures of themselves. They started posting pictures of themselves, and right afterwards, they get doxxed. So make that a lesson. Do not... when people are doing those VTuber versus IRL, don't participate. I don't. I know everybody wants to see my face, and trust me, maybe one day you'll see it when I feel comfortable with it, but for the moment, I don't want people to, and it's not because I don't care, it's not because I care what I look like or anything, or people can make fun of me. I don't care if you make fun of me, I make fun of myself. The problem is, I want to keep the people around me safe, and I want to minimize stupidity, and part of minimizing stupidity is being safe on the internet and keeping control of my information. So
Yeah. Hell, I haven't even seen what Akko looks like. I've seen Mizu, but he doesn't give a shit. He posts his ass on the internet.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
People
little
love
different. It's just, if you care about your internet, and I will say this, if you are in some way a content creator, you're a public figure, pretty much. The moment you hit it, there is a certain threshold. I don't know what it is. I don't make it up. But after a certain threshold, you're pretty much a public figure, and somebody's going to figure it out eventually. Eventually, everybody's going to see all of us. You're not going to see anything more than my face, though, because I don't post those kinds of weird pictures. But the point I'm trying to make is, it'll happen to everybody.
Send it to you later, Gwubby.
It happens. It happens to everybody that is famous. All right, you think of those Hollywood stars. Guess what? They deal with it too. They've dealt with it longer than all of us internet personalities. You know, they just go on with their day pretty much. And the most important thing I can offer to people, because people get doxxed all the time. Guess what? If they don't bring attention to it and they don't talk about it, that's the one thing I've seen this person do that I hope they can. I hope they don't talk about. The one thing that will fuck them over if this person talks about it. If they choose to talk about it, it's going to suck for them. But if you don't talk about it, sorry, go ahead.
It's like, oh no, you're good. It's like, I know that he is going to be offline at least for like another week or two. He might talk about it once it cools off, or at least a vaguely, you know, not even like directly talk about it, but probably publicly shame the people that celebrated it.
Yes.
But that's about it.
Yes. The best thing you can do is not talk about it. Like, I think you, Lumi, you brought up the farm. The thing about the farms is the people that make the most attention to places that dox them are the people that have their information out there the most. If you don't care and you don't talk about it and you don't point to where it is and say, look at what happened to me, there's my public information, you're probably going to be okay. All right? You'll probably get some pizzas. People will probably be stupid, but for the most part, just don't bring attention to it. When it comes, like... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you finish up.
I was gonna say, when it comes to swatting, call the police. Like, legitimately, I know content creators who do this, and it does minimize it. Just say, hey, I'm a bit of a public figure. I make content on the internet. You're gonna have to get personal with that cop and say, this is me. This is what I do. You know, it's a thing. It's a hobby. It's fun. People are stupid. Somehow they got X, Y, and Z. If you do get a call that I'm turning people into pepperoni, how about you call me first and I tell you that I'm going to stand outside and wait for you with my hands on my head, and you don't try and murder my dog with a flashbang. All right? Just saying, maybe you call the police beforehand this happens. That'll help. Unless the police are stupid. Some of them are just stupid. And that's a different thing. Anyway. People did end up glorifying this. And I think that is incredibly stupid. I think the fact that, like, people are saying...
I told people, like, in the original thread for it, and you saw it, where I said it's just extremely short-sighted.
Yes.
Because what a lot of them are saying is, well, this person is a bad guy, so it's okay that it happened to a bad guy. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, but with other people, they're gonna look at you and see you as the bad guy.
Pretty much.
And you're encouraging people who see someone else as the bad guy to go out and do this. You are going to screw yourself.
Pretty much. I
Yeah.
agree. Go ahead, Lumi.
Oh yeah. So, and also another good thing to keep in mind is that if God forbid this ever happens to you, is do not make a huge fuss about it. Don't mention it, because if you do make a huge fuss about it, even if the information is wrong that was posted, people will think that it's true. What you want to do is ignore it, pull a Mr. Medicare, and just let it go.
Just let it go. That's exactly
Or
what he
joke
did.
about it.
Exactly.
Or joke about it.
Actually, here's chat. If that somehow by any stretch of the, and I don't wish this upon myself or either of us, but if that somehow ever happens, guess what, chat? We're making hats.
We're making hats.
We're making hats for you to buy. Chat, here's what we'll do. We'll get on camera and say, oh gosh, man, that was really terrible. Chat, I'm very terrified about all that kind of stuff. How about you, if you buy a hat, you'll help lighten the load just a little bit. You can buy a hat, you know. Buy a hat and my face is on it, or Lumi's face is on it, or, you know, something's on it. Buy a hat. I don't know.
I think the real strength with Mr. Medicare when it happened to him was he made fun of the guy that doxed him. Because here's the thing, the kind of person that goes around doxing people is typically a very unserious person. And it's very, very easy to make fun of them.
Yeah.
Because they're crazy.
That was
So when he got doxed, the first thing he did was he looked up, like, the person talking about him, and he even read, like, his own thread and just, like, brought up some of the insane shit the guy was saying and how absolutely off the wall he sounded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And it's like most of the people who speak out the most or goes and does this shit to people won't throw hands if someone goes up to them and says, okay, you wanted to find me, you want to fucking fight, and they'll pussyfoot right out of that.
Yeah, some will. The others will just call the cops because they have to use the cops instead.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I think that, like...
Just don't get a troll like Boogie's troll.
Oh,
Because
gosh.
that guy has no fear.
That guy has...
Boogie's
Yes.
troll is horrifying.
Well, I would not goad on people like that. Unless you actually are prepared to defend your house if somebody is that stupid. See, that was Boogie's big mistake. Like, Boogie's big mistake is he was well within his rights to defend his house with deadly force. And I'm being careful here because we're on YouTube. He was well within his rights to defend his house with deadly force if he felt his life was in danger. I mean, he even said, I felt like my life was in danger. This person has constantly threatened me. In my personal opinion, knowing what I know about police, cops, and all that kind of stuff, I feel like if I was in his situation and this guy had threatened me, yeah, I probably would have used deadly force to protect my life. And I don't feel like anybody would disagree with me there. So Boogie's big mistake is that he was a pussy. And that is why people continue to walk on him, because he's a pussy. Don't be a pussy.
Well, his big mistake was going out to meet the guy and pulling a gun on him. Because...
Very against the law.
It's against the law where he lives. That's something you really need to know is the law of where you're at. The second thing is he went out to meet the guy. You're gonna have a very big uphill battle telling the cops that I felt threatened because he knocked on my front door.
It's like, okay, you don't meet the dude that's, you know, wanting to threaten you. It's like, okay, I know the laws in my area, it's one of those shoot first, ask questions later type of areas.
Yeah.
But it's like if someone is aggressively, like, you know, trying to open your door and you do have a firearm, you shoot through the door.
Yes.
Mizu is doing nothing in the background chat. There's nothing happening.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay.
That's funny. Are you playing 14 in the background?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You can't say anything.
We got
You
him addicted.
always play
I know
like
I do.
Warframe
I know I
through
do.
these.
I do. Not now because I have my screen up in case I need to put something, but maybe I could, you know what? We're just talking about this, so I'll bring something else. But I I do agree. Boogie did basically invite. That's the other thing is don't goad people that are stupid.
Don't
I don't
goad
know.
people. Know the laws in your area. Also, another big thing Boogie screwed up at, he shot a gun straight in the air. Don't shoot a gun straight in the air, chat. You know, there's this thing called gravity. What goes up must come down. The bullet
Yeah.
Unless
came
it's a
down
rocket.
somewhere in his neighborhood.
Unless it was a
Yep.
rocket meant for outer space, I don't think he was smart there. Just saying, chat.
You shoot at the feet.
Don't
you
even
shoot
do
in the dirt if you really want to. Don't shoot on cement because it can ricochet. Don't shoot on metal because it can ricochet. Even on the dirt, there's like a small chance it can ricochet. It's really weird, but I've seen it happen before.
even then, and I've asked police officers about this.
You don't fire warning shots.
Even then, a warning shot in many places is still illegal and will still take you to jail. It does not matter if you are defending your household. A warning shot is illegal because the one rule, and this is taught, I'm pretty sure, in every single state, the one rule of a firearm is you do
don't
not
shoot unless you're gonna kill.
Exactly. You do not take it out of the holster. Like, all cops are taught this. It does not leave your holster unless you are planning to use it or you're unloading it for the end of the day. But the second part doesn't matter. You do not remove it. You do not even brandish it. That in itself is a crime as well. Do not even brandish it unless you're planning to use it. That was his big mistake.
Also, don't take this as legal advice, chat, but I will tell you what my grandfather always taught me since we live in a castle doctrine state. If you do have to pull a gun and you have to shoot them, just remember to drag the body back onto your property.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
Well, I think Frank Castle was on his property at that point, so that was a little different.
mean,
but anyway,
From your-
I'm just saying, if they start
Then
crawling
do that.
away, first off, make sure that there isn't a second story for them to tell, and make sure
Yeah.
that you drag them back onto your property.
well,
No,
that's the thing. When it comes, when it comes to deadly force, you don't stop. Like, okay, chat. Do you want to know how you actually die from a gunshot wound? I learned this when
You
I
bleed.
no, not the bleeding. The bleeding is not what kills you. The bleeding can kill you, but the shock from being shot twice will kill you first. What kills you
Yeah.
is the first shot shocks you. The second shot will shock you to death because the idea of getting shot again will stop your heart.
Yeah, so fun fact,
Yeah.
I've actually taught people about this before because they seem to like just not believe me. In mass stabbings, you are actually more likely to die, and it has a higher mortality rate than mass shootings. Because you are, even with like the double shot thing, you are far more likely to die from bleeding out than you are from any sort of like blunt force trauma from the bullet. And knives are more likely to cut veins and cause you to bleed out quicker.
Yes.
So if you're getting attacked by somebody, you unironically would rather be shot in the gut than have like your arm slashed up by a knife-wielding maniac.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
like, and part of the reason, and you see this all the time when police have to use their firearms, they will always shoot you in the stomach because they're going for center of mass. So they hit you because they don't want to hit somebody else, and they want to, because in center mass there's a lot of places that they can miss. But again, twice is enough to scare you to death. You will literally be freaked out to death. Your heart will stop. You will go into shock. You will not recover. That's why it's 2 in the chest.
Oh, that's another one. I've actually heard that one from a lawyer before. Don't call the police if you have to shoot somebody. Call your lawyer first and let the lawyer
Yeah.
talk to them.
Yes.
Because the lawyer has like different privileges and stuff that they can get around not telling the police.
Pretty much, yes.
Yep.
Anyway, let's go right back to doxing. Like, I find it really sad that these people are like, celebrating it, because like the individual that was doxed, I wouldn't say is
You know
very
their name is on
flamboyant.
both of our screens, right? Because we did a thumbnail.
I don't trust
This is
Crouch.
true.
I'm just kind of wondering why we've been
This
dancing
is true.
around it.
Do you want to just say, all right?
Because
Uh,
it's like we're already this far into the conversation. We don't have to bring up a fucking name.
I don't know.
And plus, they already know.
Yeah.
So just
I'm just wondering.
I mean, it's fair. I was just trying to be
Mizu-
nice. I just didn't think
Mizu-
that far.
Mizu, listen. Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, this, it's really baffling that people just was like, yeah, this person's such an abusive dickhead, and I'm glad that they're getting this comeuppance. And it's just like, nobody's gonna care about you. Like, it legitimately, and I will say this very clearly now. If you celebrate the doxing of anybody, I don't care who they are, right, left, center, black, white, boy, girl, whatever you want to identify as, if you celebrate doxing, you are on a blacklist. You are on my own personal blacklist. I will not stream with you ever. I will not associate with you because you act on emotion. You believe that if it aligns with your emotions, that it is fine. And that is not how this works. Because it is wrong, it is disgusting, and I don't want to associate with you. Okay?
Well, and then here's the other thing, right? If somebody gets doxxed because you're trying to report them to the police for a crime, you don't have to spread the dox around. You can just report them to the police yourself.
Yeah.
Like, the police aren't Twitter reports. They don't act on number of reports. They act on legitimacy of report.
Mm-hmm. They do. They do, yeah.
You could have 30 people saying something about someone and they probably would still kind of ignore it because there's just nothing there.
No, yeah, but like, if...
Send them all the information. Don't post the docs on the internet. You're just causing more issues.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like if you celebrate, condone it, you are on my own, like people like get afraid of like VTuber blacklist. My own personal blacklist is if you do shitty things and have shitty behaviors, I know that doesn't carry weight to some people. It will carry weight when there are people that you stream with that I also stream with, and I won't stream with you. Just saying. So if you condone it, you are automatically not allowed to be in my presence because I don't tolerate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything else? Want to make sure we chat. The time is now yours. Tell us if we missed anything. Tell us if we missed anything.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go on a little ranting.
Oh yes, go on your rant. I wanna hear it. Yes, I'm excited for this.
Okay, so there's this smaller startup gaming organization that wanted to get into esports and shit. They were looking for talent in branching out into VTubers. I don't care if I'm going to name them because you know what? I don't give a shit anymore. I gave them plenty of chances. If you see a organization called Geared Gaming, and for some reason their manager for the VTubers spot doesn't like you, aka Johnny. You probably know him because he does a lot of VR chat stuff, and also
he's besties with Marina.
Yeah, he's besties with Marina and shamed that one VTuber that went viral for that concert in the Philippines? No.
Was it in the Philippines?
Somewhere. I don't remember.
Makes me dislike him more because Filipinos are based.
I forget what the streamer was.
I forgot where he was located. But
doesn't matter.
No.
So I was scheduled to have an interview with them. The first time it had to be rescheduled. It was understandable because the person who was supposed to interview me, a huge storm was in their area. They had no power or internet. I'm like, okay, you can reschedule it. Rescheduling time came around. They're like, oh, sorry, can we reschedule it again? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, you're British. You're running on British time. Sorry, you're British. We schedule it for 8 a.m. my time. I never get up that early. I'm like, okay, sleep early, got up early, and I was ready for the interview. No answer. And I'm like, okay, do you want to reschedule? And this was when, at that point, I was mutuals with Johnny. And I was like, hey, so, is there, like, since you work with them, can you, have them contact me for this interview? And he was like, okay, hold on, I'm gonna read this verbatim on what he told me. Let's see, where's his shit? Where's my messages from him? Fucking... No, that's Geared Gaming. Okay. So, what I asked him is, like, can you see if the interviewer wants to reschedule the interview? Never got a response for the interview yesterday. And then he said, unfortunately, while I was reviewing your channel recently, I noticed some content did not reflect our values of Geared Gaming as an organization. We're going to pass, but thank you for your time. And note, this happened the day after we talked about VT Rainbow.
Yeah.
And okay, and then the next day I got an answer from Geared Gaming. They said, hi Lumi, apologies for the delay, had a hectic start to the week. Wait, hold on, no. Alright. Before that, I asked, question for my curiosity, may I ask what of my content does not reflect values of your company? I don't see myself as a problematic creator. And they said, hi Lumi, apologies for the delay, just a hectic start to the week. There's no issues with your content. We were just making sure the new members were getting onboarded correctly. So to them, my content wasn't an issue. It was to Johnny. And I believe, I'm just speculating because I can't read into that man's mind. But I think he just told me that, so I stopped pushing the organization to try to get an interview because I was critical over VT Rainbow. And I said, oh, I see, I work weekdays, blah, blah, blah. And he said that he needed to message Johnny, and I said, okay, before you message Johnny, I need to bring something to your attention if that's okay. I was asking him about scheduling since he was part of your company as a manager, and he was saying that my content did not follow your company's standards, which I'm not sure why. May I still interview with you? He may have a bias against me because I criticized one of his friends. I can work around whatever time's fine with you since I stay up late in the US. And then they said, oh, truthfully, I would need to speak with him and find out I have a meeting with him on Wednesday, and that was on November 13th. And then ever since then, after that, like, next planned scheduled meeting, I was completely ghosted. No other responses since.
Super unprofessional company.
Yeah, so...
yeah.
And it's like, okay, this organization follows FaZe clan members and stuff. So it's like, what part of me is worse than FaZe? Please enlighten me. Because what
They're just funny.
Yeah, it's definitely the fact that you poked at Marina, who still hasn't, believe it or not, chat, we talked about Marina almost a month ago. She still has not blocked me on Twitter. She still follows me on Twitter. I don't know why.
It's like, probably because we didn't directly, criticize her, we were criticizing VT Rainbow as a whole.
I don't know, but VT Rainbow is her. That's the thing that was like bizarre to me, is that is her, which is why I was just like so confused. Sorry, continue.
But yeah, everyone just, if you know VTubers that are trying to get into the esports organization and they don't like, Johnny and his friends, or if for some reason they don't like you, don't even try, because he will make sure you do not get in. To let people know that Geared Gaming is not going to be very VTuber friendly.
How's Marina immune from being held
I don't think it's that.
Oh, and also Hicks. Akko is, how do you pronounce it? Gyaro?
Gyaru, yes.
Gyaru.
Gyaru is, I believe, the correct pronunciation. It is basically a translation of the word gal,
Yeah.
or I don't want to say whore. Whore is not a good name for it. It's basically a girl that
It's
is
a
very out there.
Japanese club culture where they want to look like horse.
Yes,
Yes.
but I am not one. I promise.
Yet.
Oh.
No, not anymore. According to the lore, I'm not one anymore.
Man, I'm gonna need
We'll
to
work
see those
on that, chat.
photos.
I can send you the lore, Lumi, later.
Oh, hell yeah.
The rough draft was given to me by Paco because he was helping me get it worked on, so it was more readable.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't know why. Like the only thing I think of is Marina's just not held accountable because of her identity, which is like, it's kind of sad because like I'm sure there are many different things that like makes Marina a cool person, but because of one specific thing in their identity, that's all people tend to care about. And like, as someone with autism who tries to not make that the vocal point of why I'm important, like tries to use other reasons, like it's just really sad
No.
that like your character defining trait is the only reason why people care about you. That's all I see, and it's depressing. Really, just is. And I would not wish that upon anybody. I don't even wish that on Marina. I just hope that she like. I hope she improves as a person, as with everybody. I hope she improves as a person and gets better. But like, that's just depressing. That your one defining trait is the only reason why people care about you, and it's so blatant. So blatant. It's like not even funny. It's just depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all fucking dumb, and it's like their VTuber side of things is going to go down fucking hill if by some reason anyone that Johnny doesn't like gets in. He's probably gonna make sure their time there is a living fucking hell.
Yeah. I feel bad for the people that he does clips for, because he does clips for people as well. And I'm not going to name any of the people that he works for, because those people are, as far as I'm concerned, innocent and don't deserve to be a part of this. But he edits clips for a lot of high-profile people, and he acts like this. I'm just saying, and like if I knew the person that was making and editing videos for me did that, they would be fired in an instant. Thankfully, I have somebody that knows how to be a decent human being. Shout out to my editor in chat, but like, it's so sad. It's like, someone even said cuck. I don't even think it's cuck. I just think it's simp behavior. Such disgusting, horrible behavior.
All the guys around Marina are simps, and it's so weird.
It is very weird. Like, I
She
don't know
just
what
like
you expect.
attracts these. I don't know if she attracts these people or she seeks them out.
It could be. I don't. I
It could be a
can't.
bit of both. Strategic posts and
I don't want to know. I don't want to speculate on that.
the friends around her just saying, "Hey, look how neat she is."
I don't know. Sea Dog's ex Clipper was joining in on the see, and that's the thing that really bothers me too. Is a lot of high profile people either have or act like that, and it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think
I
Sea Dog
am
is like that.
proud that the people I like had the opinions that I shared.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of them was the one that put out the really funny joke of, I don't care if Internet Historian plagiarized, because he's funny, and
Yeah.
Bomberguy is not funny, so I would rather be on the side with the funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the one that they posted the Dan versus picture, and it says, "I don't care what the breadtuber says about Internet Historian, I am not unsubscribing."
Yeah, you just don't trust breadtubers in general. Breadtubers
Yeah.
never like. So they may have a good opinion, but it's overshadowed by all of the bullshit that they tend to espouse. So.
Honestly.
They have the right opinion sometimes for the wrong reasons, and I
Mhm.
will maintain that.
Azra's
I
no.
don't think people realize like how bad some of these people's like political opinions are about stuff.
Shotgun the more.
Like, they'll watch something that's like, so for instance, like, I really don't like where Guilty Gear Strive has gone, because I bring that one up because they did another thing today that was super stupid.
I heard
But
about
they
that.
would look at it and they'd say, Guilty Gear Strive is a bad game, I'd be like, yes, it is. And then they'd turn around and go, because the women are very sexualized in it.
It's like, no, that's not the reason.
No.
No,
And that's
as is not my
kind
editor.
of their like opinion on everything. Like they might have the right opinion on some things, but they'll only have the right opinion because they've like twisted it into a political issue somehow.
Mhm.
It's like, no, this is literally nothing to do with politics. Please stop.
Yeah. And yes, we are talking about Sylvie Spark. Yes.
No, we were talking about Johnny before.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about in general. It's just
No, they're two different people.
Johnny and Sylvie are two different people.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
guy called Sylvie
hold on.
Spark, and there's a guy called Johnny FMW or something.
Hold on, I'll send you Johnny's profile, Occo. Were you thinking we were talking
Oh.
about Sylvie this entire time?
No, sorry. I think my brain just got confused there for a moment.
The autism took over.
Yes.
Here.
But
Well,
Like-
because I mentioned to them the other day, chat, that Sylvie's doing like shit again to people, trying to like get involved in the and all the little VTuber cancellations going on. I had to call him out on Twitter on it.
Uh-huh.
I called him out on Twitter. I don't know if I told you guys this. I called him out
No.
on Twitter for trying to get in drama and trying to put down drama tubers as like bad people in the community by telling him he had multiple alts where he would harass people. And he thought it was a good idea to respond to me using one of his alts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So like all my tweet said was, dude, you really shouldn't be talking. I know you have multiple alts where you harass people. And then literally an account called Sylvie Spark alt immediately replies to me. And it's like, you are not helping your case,
it's just
bro.
like it's dumber than me. I'm sorry.
He's so
That's
stupid.
saying something, chat. I'm sure you can all agree that's saying something.
That's fucking funny.
Don't pull a null mom gamer move.
Okay.
Yes,
you're-
chat, he is seriously that dumb.
Wow.
Like, for instance, I called him out for being an account called Fat Slovenian because he likes all of Fat Slovenian's tweets, even though Fat Slovenian has fake doxed him. And I brought it up to him, and I let him, like, gaslight me into believing it wasn't him for, like, a brief moment and deleted my tweets about it. And then, even after I'd called him out on this publicly, so he knows there's, like, people looking at him, all he did was he changed the account name for that account that same day, and he just kept liking that account's tweets. I don't know if it's just a me thing, but if somebody told me an account I was constantly interacting with was trying to fake dox me, I probably wouldn't be friends with that person anymore.
No, I would block them and stop liking their tweets. Unless
You
I
know,
wanted to dunk
unless
on them.
I was the one that fake doxed myself and I was running the account as an alt. God, he's so dumb. I hate him. Also, yes, I don't like GGSG. They ruined Bridget, they ruined Elfit, they ruined basically everybody.
What do you
Ruined
mean? Bridget
basket.
was always the way that they say they are. You just have to be okay with the fact that it is the way it is.
Have you guys seen who they ruined today?
No.
So explain it, because I didn't really understand the whole drama.
So have you seen the picture of her?
Yes. What's wrong with the picture?
So I will just put it in chat. I'll have to get the new picture for Lumi, but this is her old design.
Ooh, excuse me.
Oh, she's so cute.
Yes, so Lumi, this is her new design they just announced for Strive.
Oh,
That's a
that's who
whole
it was?
character.
That is
That's a-
supposed to be the same
That's
person.
who it is?
That's
see.
a whole new character.
Wow. See, if I didn't play Guilty Gear, I would not. Because, like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, is this a new character? Because I've seen enough of Guilty Gear. Because there were collabs and games I had played with it where, like, that's the Valentine girl, right? The one that, like, will you be mine or some shit?
Yes, her like whole personality is trying to be loved
Yeah.
and find like her
that's-
husband.
Wow.
Here's another thing though. Look at her original design. You have to remember Guilty Gear is based on like rock and metal music. Her original
Yeah.
design was a Guns N' Roses reference.
I see that.
Oh,
I can
Yeah.
tell. You know what? That's
Her
very
new one
inventive.
is just like an idol.
It's
And
so bad.
idols aren't typically associated with like rock or metal or it's just
Wow.
weird.
That is like character murder. They murdered that character.
like a lot of the other characters, people have complained about their outfits because their outfits just don't look very good. But with Elfit, she's just not even the same character.
No.
You can even see it in the announcement for it, where people are like, "That's her? Are you sure? Like, is this not a new character?" That's why people didn't, because apparently she got leaked earlier in the day, which is why they pushed the announcement up to be so quick and so rushed. But people assumed the leak was fake because of how little it looked like her.
It
So they
doesn't
just
look like it
assumed
at
the guy was
all.
making shit up.
What the fuck?
It is just. Oh,
I'm gonna have
Grubby,
to
you poor
ask-
soul.
I'm gonna have to ask Caro, because Caro's like really heavy into fighting games. I'm gonna have to ask him what they think about that, because that's
Here's the thing,
literally
Grubby,
murdering the
right?
character.
Because here's the thing, Glubby, right? Guilty Gear Strive is probably one of the easiest to get into, especially as like a new player, because it's kind of made more for that. The problem is every single character in the game got assassinated. So anybody that's played the other games doesn't like it.
I see.
There's been like one or two characters they haven't completely bastardized.
Man.
I'll never get over the fact they turned the Fed into a groomer.
There are no receipts to dox. Well, I mean, I could show a couple of the people that were celebrating. Oh, we didn't pull it.
We
too
have
many.
one in the background of my thumbnail.
Yeah, I have one
I
in the background
mean-
of my thumbnail too. Hold on.
I mean, I have the ghost archive of the entire thread.
Oh, the thread of that one person made.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through it?
That's a long ass thing, and it's 1 a.m., my dude.
Fair enough. It is.
Honestly, chat, it's really very boring because every single one of them does the same, like, non-committal answer of, I'm a good person and I don't like doxing, but Rev's a bad person, so
Rev's
it's okay
a
that it happened.
bad boy, and he likes to date his sister, even though his sister doesn't exist, and I'm stupid for thinking this way. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Lumi, that that happened to you, though. You deserve so much better, and I think that you're very non-toxic for a COD streamer.
Man, if I need to be, if I want to be toxic, I gotta outshine a Mizu.
You got a little bit to go there. Ooh.
Honestly, there's so many people around me that could out-toxic me, but everybody just immediately looks at me anytime something comes up.
You're like
It's
you're
like me-
like our shield.
Me and Akko could probably do like the worst possible thing, and everyone would be like, "Oh, it's probably because Mizu told them to."
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And that's kind of sad to
And then we
say.
can joke about not caring about it.
Yeah, no,
joking
Grubby,
about it on
kinda like it.
stream. We could joke about it in the server, but not on stream.
Yeah, when it comes to that, we don't like politics. Everybody's politics suck, and that's just one of those ones that I don't want to get
Everybody
into.
sucks except for me. I'm the fucking greatest thing since sliced bread.
Temp, I would let you be unhinged, but you can't be on stream. If you ever get on the podcast, maybe, but yeah, I don't know.
Look, chat, I don't want us to sound like we're clout hungry because we're not.
No.
But we're also not gonna bring on just random people on the stream every week.
Oh, hey, so we actually did a podcast episode on her a couple weeks ago. The VTuber who is virtue signaling about dumb shit, and we were making fun of her about it.
Which one?
The lewd tuber who was like, "Oh my god, you gotta care about this if you have a big
Oh
platform."
yeah, Aurora. Yeah,
Yeah, that one.
yeah. I remember her.
Like,
I thi-
no, I don't have to care, and I'm not gonna care.
Exactly.
You know what's-
but I think we should wrap up because it's getting late, and I need to sleep for work like a big girl.
I'm sorry.
Maureen, thank you for the raid. We're about to leave though. Thank
I-
you though.
I was gonna say with the politics, I made what's weird is I made a politic post saying, yeah, I don't think I am gonna be political, and neither are the big guys either, because the big guys know that that's literally shitting away money, and like 100 people followed me for that one tweet and take, and I Don't know why.
Man, part of me when we end stream, I'm like, huh, Dane Cook is alive. Maybe I should raid him.
You can rate whoever you want. I just know as the podcast channel
Friends.
user,
Stop.
chat, if you're on YouTube, you go nowhere. The stream is over afterwards. So before we end off, before we leave, if you haven't yet, go ahead and give the podcast channel a subscribe. So we can continue growing it. Go ahead and give all our socials a follow as well. If you haven't subbed to any of us, because we would also like to grow. I put all of our channels on the podcast screen, so you can actually see them right now, which is cool.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys have
Ooh,
anything else
actually,
you
I'm
want to
gonna-
say before we leave?
I do not, but I think I'm gonna raid
I'm
to Kaya.
All right. Thanks,
Alright,
everybody.
I need to set up a raid for Twitch and set up a meteor shower for VStream.
Cloud is like
Hi.
Twinkies. They taste good, but eventually they start to taste bad after a while. I don't know if that's a good analogy. It depends on the person. Depends on the person. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching tonight. It was very fun. Game Awards were meh. We're alright. We didn't
Nothing
get Silk.
interesting to announce.
We didn't get Silk Song, so it wasn't worth it. Or Metroid 4.
Kyo's gonna be so sad.
Name any game that people are coping and seething over not getting, and that is why the Game Awards was mid. Other than that,
Bloodborne for PC, Bloodborne 2, Bloodborne Remaster, Bloodborne 60 frames per second patch, please.
other than that, chat, this is where I'm gonna end the podcast channel off. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. You guys have a good one, and we will see you when we see you next time. Bye.
Good night, everybody. Gonna send y'all off now. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, and we shall see you tomorrow for games.
Night.